Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By Sprint, get more done with Nextel Direct Connect, only on the Now Network. By MasterCard. And by McDonald's. 85-degree night. It is warmer tonight than it has been the two previous games here in Los Angeles. And it's kind of an old school Dodger crowd as they're a little late arriving here tonight, I'm sure due to traffic. Starting lineup for the Phillies, brought to you by Geico and presented by David Boreanaz. David.
Okay, here's your starting lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. Leading off, Jimmy Rollins, shortstop, followed by Jason Worth, right field. Then Chase Utley, second base. Followed by the big bad Ryan Howard at first base. Then Pat Burrell comes up playing left field. And then we all know him here very well, the flying Hawaiian Shane Victorino. Then there's Pedro Feliz playing third base, and then Carlos Ruiz catching, followed by the left-hander Cole Hamels, who Steve Carlton would be very, very proud of.
Well said, David. David is on the TV show Bones here on Fox, and he grew up in Philadelphia. Did our Philly lineup tonight. His dad is Dave Roberts, who at Channel 6 is a Philadelphia weatherman. So we thank David for joining us here tonight, and we will tell you that our opening pitch is brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability. And so now the statistics for Chad Billingsley, who was not good at all in Game 2 of this NLCS. And we give you the Sprint pitcher profile for the right-hander Chad Billingsley.
Yeah, as far as Billingsley is concerned, ultra competitive, a cutter to right-handed batters, and Joe Torre said he was caught in between in his first start. And against left-handers, they could give him a problem, batting .275 for the year.
He starts the night with a strike, and he delivered it over the inside part to Jimmy Rollins. That's what Jimmy has done so far during this NLCS, and overall 8 for 33 swinging the bat in the postseason. Strike 2. Billingsley's a 24-year-old right-hander. He's been the top winner in the rotation for the Dodgers the last 2 years. He started this season 0-4 with an ERA of 6.5. He's 17-7 since. And outstanding here at home. Inside again. Ball 1 with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Jason Worth will follow, and then Chase Utley here in the first inning for the Phillies, who in Game 4 picked up 2 in the first. Still 1-2.
That's that cut fastball that Billingsley throws primarily to left-handers. It's like a slider. It runs in on the hands. That was a fine cutter to Rollins that last pitch.
The numbers for Billingsley: 7-4, ERA of 3.92, and he followed a Dodger loss, and the count now 2-2. Joe Torre very impressed with how he handled the Game 2 start at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. It was a 10-3 winner, got into the 7th inning, went 6 2/3, allowed only 5 hits, 1 run, struck out 7, walked 1, and then just did not have it in Game 2 of this NLCS. Still 2-2. How about our Ford keys to the game here for Game 5?
Well, if you're the Phillies, you obviously want to end it. They want to open up the throttle. And again, the Dodgers saying impossible? No. Difficult? Very, very.
The 2-2. Full count. So a good at bat by Rollins. Fell behind 0-2, and now he has battled the count full. Well, here's the starter tonight for Philadelphia, Cole Hamels. 8th pitch of the at bat. And Rollins shoots one into deep right center. What a start for the Phillies. 1-0 as they strike first here in Game 5. What a good at bat by Jimmy Rollins.
Fighting off the tough pitches, and he finally got a high fastball. When the Phillies clinched against Milwaukee, Rollins led off that game with a home run. You're right, Joe. That was a terrific at bat by Jimmy Rollins. He gets a fastball right down the pipe, a little bit up. And Jimmy Rollins batting only 118 coming into this game. Puts the Phils on top.
Phillies wanted to make Chad Billingsley bring the ball up. Jimmy Rollins jumped on that high delivery, and now Jason Worth bats with nobody on or out. Second of this postseason for Rollins, and that's ball one down and away. That might be a good omen for Philadelphia here tonight. There's a strike to Worth. Game 4, the clinch here against the Brewers. In the division series, he led off with a home run. Took Jeff Suppan deep to right. And now he gets Billingsley. The 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Joe Torre did not make his players show up here at Dodger Stadium yesterday after what he called an emotional loss here in game 4. He wanted them to clear their minds, have a little separation from it, and go back to work here tonight. There's a strike on the inside corner. Worth didn't like it. It's 2-2, and now here they are after that emotional loss, allowing 4 runs in the 8th. Stairs with the go-ahead 2-run shot, a 7-5 win for Philly, and the Phillies jump on top after 1 batter tonight. Breaking ball stays up and in, full count.
Well, you don't want Billingsley to think, oh no, here we go again. So he has to immediately get back on track.
And a walk follows the home run. So Worth is on. Utley is coming up, and we look at the defense for Los Angeles. It's brought to you by Geico. With Manny Ramirez, Matt Kemp, and Andre Ethier in the outfield. Blake Furcal, DeWitt, Loney around the infield, and Russell Martin doing the catching, and he is out there along with Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach for the Dodgers, to try and slow things down for Billingsley.
I would think that if Billingsley continues with trouble here in the first inning, that Greg Maddux would be the alternative starter early in the game. Maddux has worked only 1 inning in this series, but Joe Torre's going to have to make his mind up quickly about whether Billingsley has it or not tonight.
Utley has had an outstanding NLCS, 6 out of 13, hitting .462, and he is a career .387 hitter. There's Greg Maddux, a future Hall of Famer, and so far just sitting and watching with the rest of us. 1 on, nobody out. What could be a great start to this game 5 for Philadelphia. Strike 1. Jimmy Rollins has been quiet in this series, now just 3 out of 18, but really as a group, Philadelphia, the numbers don't knock you over, even with Victorino and different guys in their lineup, but they've all come up with a key hit when the Phillies have needed it. Strike 2 on Utley.
Entering tonight's game, 5 of the 8 Phillies are batting under 200 the League Championship Series, including Ryan Howard.
Yeah, they're getting very little production out of guys that led them into the postseason all year, and yet whether it's Victorino or whether it's even Howard with a couple of base hits, Utley had the home run in game number 1. Everybody has picked their spot, and it's come at a key moment for Philadelphia. 0-2 pitch. Hard hit. Loney steps, throws. They need a tag. Double play.
Worth going into Furcal. Furcal coming out limping on, it looked like his left ankle. A hard slide by Worth. A lot of times if you're the runner on at first base, you don't know whether the first baseman has touched the bag or not. I think if Worth had left his one leg straight, then he's safe, but both legs curled, and that allowed Furcal to make the tag before he got to it. At pop-up slide, normally the left leg is straight and you hit the bag and pop up. He had both legs bent and actually slid over the bag, allowing Furcal to make the tag and hurting his left ankle in the process.
Definitely made the tag. And it's a big double play for Billingsley, but at what price? For Call is trying to walk it off out in shallow left center field. Throw by Loney, pulled for Call away from the base. And Rafael Furcal is going to stay out there. Still gimpy after that late and rather hard slide by Jason Worth.
Loney's throw to the inside part of the bag, that's where the target was. Middle infielders give first baseman targets just like a catcher gives a pitcher a target.
You know, the interesting part of it, Tim, is Worth's going down to second base. He doesn't know whether Loney has tagged the bag.
That's right.
And then thrown. So he doesn't know that it's a tag play. Instead, he's, as you said, trying to break up the double play. And as you said, he curled the legs up. And it may have cost the Phillies a base runner. Now a 1-0 count on Ryan Howard, who has struggled, and he chops one to the right side. So it's a leadoff home run for Jimmy Rollins, followed by a walk, a double play, and then a ground out. 10th postseason home run for Philadelphia here in 08, and it puts the Phillies on top here in the first.
Touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, stop, format it. Feel it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jump and lock it. Technologic. Technologic. Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, crash it, change it, no upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it. Touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, stop, format it. Technologic.
If you haven't experienced Eagle Eye, open your eyes.
How are you seeing us right now?
You can't run, Jerry. We are everywhere.
Eagle Eye, rated PG-13, now playing.
Taco Bell's new Frutista Freeze. To refresh your day, think outside the bun.
So what do you want your iPhone to be today? With the MLB app from the App Store, it can be a score checker, live pitch updater, or a video highlight player. But any way you cut it, it's officially a game changer.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. It was a beautiful day in the park.
Kevin, can you hand me
that turned to panic in an instant. And everything depended on a brick house child locator.
Kevin!
And packed inside every locator is the only battery brick house trusts, Duracell. So even if you hope you'll never have to use it, it still has to work. Duracell, trusted everywhere.
Dodger fans here in LA and around the world, spin your Dodger towels because the boys need us tonight. Okay, here's the lineup. At shortstop, Rafael Furcal. And right field, Andre Ethier. Left field, Manny with his headgear, Ramirez. Catching, Russell Martin. First base, James Loney. At third base, Casey Blake. In center field, Matt Kemp. Second base, Blake DeWitt. And starting pitcher, Chad Billingsley. Philadelphia, you keep the Liberty Bell, we'll take the win. Hey.
Great to see Henry Winkler, and we thank him for bringing us the Geico starting lineup for the Dodgers. And Furcal takes a strike from Cole Hamels. A left-hander won 14 games during the regular season. So far 2-0 this postseason for his Phillies. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. So Furcal, Ethier, and Ramirez, and the Dodgers would love to answer what the Phillies just did and get this crowd back in it. In and to his left. Jimmy Rollins takes care of Furcal. So a little gimpy getting back to the dugout still as he jogs back after the ground out, and Andre Ethier will be the hitter. So gently placing that batting helmet back into that rack, and now here is Andre Ethier. And the breaking ball is low.
Cole Hamels has a wonderful changeup, and for that reason, he doesn't always throw it to left-handed batters. Left-handers are much more proficient against Hamels than right-handers.
Ethier gets under it, flies it into right. And 2 up, 2 down. We'll give you the Geico defense for Philadelphia. You know that Jason Worth is in right. No surprises. Victorino back in center, Burrell in left, Feliz, Rollins, Utley, Howard. Carlos Ruiz does the catching again, and you circled Pedro Feliz.
Pedro Feliz at third base this evening because Cole Hamels throws a lot of ground balls by right-handed hitters to the left side of the infield, says Charlie Manuel. That's why I'd rather go with defense.
And Manny Ramirez bats with 2 out, nobody on. How about these numbers? The division series 5 for 10, 2 homers, 5 runs, 3 RBIs, and then in the NLCS 6 for 10 with 3 runs scored, a home run, 6 RBIs, and 6 walks. He takes down and away, and the count's 1-1.
Manny Ramirez has been up 32 times this postseason. He's been on base 21 times. 11 hits, 10 walks.
And up on the count here, 2-1. Obviously dating back to his time with the Boston Red Sox, 33 RBIs in his last 28 postseason games. That run started with Game 1 of the 04 World Series. He was the MVP of that 04 World Series for Boston. 3-1. This postseason, at least 1 RBI in 6 of the 7 games. 7 for 8 with runners in scoring position. There's that figure. 21 of 32 plate appearances. Manny Ramirez has reached base and kicked them both up 1 more notch. 22 of 33 times he's been to the plate. He has headed at least to first base.
Manny Ramirez chases pitches out of the strike zone. And by that I mean pitchers won't throw balls out of the strike zone. It's a different approach.
But here's a guy you focused on when we came on the air, Russell Martin. And what does the cleanup hitter do for the Dodgers hitting after Ramirez? At some point, one of these cleanup hitters has got to make Philadelphia pay when they pitch around Manny Ramirez. Cleanup spot again, just 2 for 13 in this NLCS with 1 RBI. And they've left 11 on base. Just high, 1 ball, 1 strike. That's for the entire postseason. Just a 130 average hitting behind Ramirez. 2-1.
One of the things that makes Hamels so tough is when he's in a fastball count like now, 2 balls and a strike, he loves to throw the changeup. Very unpredictable behind in the count.
And great arm action with his changeup.
The best.
Steady gives the fastball, and it's a strike on Russell Martin. 2-2.
From a Philly standpoint, Hamels has been disturbingly high for the last 2 hitters. You can understand it with Ramirez, but not with the follow-up hitter, Russell Martin.
Martin hits it on a short hop to Feliz, who goes to second for the force out with Utley covering. 1 left for Los Angeles. We go into the second. Burrell and Shane Victorino, one of the heroes for Philadelphia. Coming up, Phillies up 1-0.
All right, firefighters, settle down. How about the budget?
Balance it.
And the taxes?
What page the list?
Anyone want better roads?
We do.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done. A lot of paper to tell us we need clean water. Need clean water, guys? All right, this is the easiest job I've ever had. We're out of here.
Get work done now. Communicate in less than a second with rugged Nextel Direct Connect phones. Only on the Now Network.
So I'm not worried about CEOs. I'm not worried about corporate lobbyists. I'm worried about the couple that's trying to figure out how they're going to retire. I'm worried about the family that's trying to figure out how they can save for their child's college education. I'm worried about the guy who's worked in a plant for 20 years and suddenly sees his job shipped overseas and has lost not just his job, but his health care, his pension, and the sense of dignity that comes with having a good job. That's who I'm worried about. That's who I'm going to be fighting for and thinking about every single day that I'm in the White House. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Now on DVD and Blu-ray, Adam Sandler in the butt-kicking,
Smell it, now take it.
hair-raising, foot-flying comedy event of the year. What are you, bionic?
No, I only like the girls.
You don't mess with the Zohan. Now get the unrated version on DVD and Blu-ray.
Hi, I have an oven-baked sandwich for Steve.
Why would I order a Domino's oven-baked sandwich? I love Submart.
Leave it over there.
Introducing Domino's Oven Baked Sandwiches. You got 4 savory flavors for just $4.99 each. Domino's. You got 30 minutes.
The all-new 375 horsepower Hyundai Genesis can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 5.7 seconds, which means if it starts now, it will reach 60 miles an hour now. Find out more at HyundaiGenesis.com.
Right now, lease an all-new Hyundai Genesis for only $399 a month.
They're here.
No, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV, so we're stuck watching cable.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable.
As the world changes,
America's first female president.
only one thing remains the same.
Our embassy in Sangala just got word of an imminent coup.
The man who can save it.
They want me back in Washington. They can come and get me.
Soldiers stealing our children.
Be careful, Madam President. 24 returns with an all-new 2-hour event.
We're talking about innocent children. I said open the gate!
24 Redemption. Sunday, November 23rd on Fox.
5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Phillies, who lead by 1, and there's a good fastball from Billingsley inside corner. Arms went up from Burrell, and the right arm from Mike Winters, the home plate umpire, went up. Strike 1. Burrell, then Victorino, then Phillies. Ball and a strike. Did we see enough in the first inning from these two pitchers, Tim, to get an early read as to what kind of a night we're in for?
If I were Rich Doobie, the Phillies pitching coach, I'd be a bit concerned. I mean, pitchers, even young pitchers, have a chance to right themselves if they come out in the first or second inning and they're not right. But there was something not right about Cole Hamels and the way he was throwing. He was missing in areas that he doesn't miss, up and away to right-handed batters.
And that one toward the Dodger dugout. Still 1-2. Burrell in this NLCS is 5 for 14. Does have 3 home runs this postseason. His career 4 out of 12 against this Dodger right-hander. Billingsley got him. First strikeout. Let's go down to Kenny Rosenthal. Kenny, as Victorino comes in, I know you did some talking to some of those players down there. What'd you learn?
Well, one thing about the Phillies, Joe, they do a really good job policing themselves. After Victorino hit a grand slam off CC Sabathia in the division series, he was pictured running around the bases with his arm upraised. Now, one of the Phillies took the picture, pasted it to his locker, and put it under the inscription, J. Reyes. That was a reference to Jose Reyes, who, of course, occasionally upsets his opponents with his celebrations.
Did Victorino get the message? Here's a 1-0 pitch. I'd say so. Here's the home run in the division series. That was off Sabathia. Phillies won that game. It took them 4 games to get past the Brewers. Phillies on deck, 1 out, nobody on at the moment. Dodgers in the second will have Loney, Blake, and Kemp. Two out, and Billingsley may have given up that leadoff home run, but he looks like he's corralled his stuff.
Well, there are 2 things that Joe Torre told us that Billingsley must do. He must use both sides of the plate. We saw him come inside to Worth twice, and he must throw his curveball. And that was a very good biting curveball to get Victorino.
There's a breaking ball that Victorino hit out against Corey Wade to tie the game in the 8th inning 2 nights ago in Game 4 as Phillies takes a 94-mile-an-hour fastball for ball 1. In there tonight because of his glove, not so much because of his bat. The better hitter in their situation at third is Greg Dobbs. 2-0.
Think about when a pitcher who needs the outside corner and the inside corner is caught in between. Where's the in-between? The in-between's right down the middle of the plate, and that was the problem with Billingsley in his first start.
That was not a 2-0 fastball, and he gets strike number 1 on a slider. Not a great pitch, but it was called strike 1.
That's a get-me-over slider.
Feliz rips it into left. Manny Ramirez goes over to make the play, and Feliz is on with a 2-out single.
So after the slider, the breaking ball, and it just stays right in the middle of the plate. We've talked about it many, many times. Catchers don't catch those pitches.
Yeah, those last 2 breaking balls were no good.
No.
One was taken for a strike, and that one was hammered, and Billingsley's lucky it stayed in the park. Here is Ruiz, another guy on that list. What's the list? The list of guys who've come up with key hits for Philadelphia. It's easy to remember the home run by Victorino in the 8th inning in Game 4 and the 2-run shot by Stairs, but it was a 2-out hit by Ruiz, which prompted the pitching change, brought in Broxton. Next hitter was Stairs, and he walloped a home run to right. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ruiz.
Matt Stairs did not hit the ball out of Dodger Stadium last night. There have been 2 by Willie Stargell years ago. He had 2 completely over the pavilion. But I'll tell you, Stairs got about as much of that as you can get. Hammered.
Ruiz gets under it, pops it into center, and that's Kemp. And that's the end of the top of the second. Dodgers will have Loney, Blake, and Kemp as they bat in the second, down by 1.
Hey, what kind of light beer do you want?
It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Whoa! All the same? Are they all as easy to drink as Bud Light?
Isn't water from this hose easier to drink than water from this one? Isn't this bottle easier to drink from than this one? And wouldn't you agree that a raindrop is easier to drink than hail?
Point is, there's a difference, and Bud Light has it. It's called drinkability, the just right taste that makes Bud Light so easy to drink.
Bud Light, the difference is drinkability.
We only got 1 room left, but I doubt you'll want it.
Why not?
It's a dead zone. Can't get your calls, your precious emails. It's like you don't even exist.
I've got the Verizon network.
You good?
Oh. The towers are kind of scratchy.
We test America's largest 3G network every day. Verizon Wireless. Get the exclusive LG Dare, full touchscreen, 3G speed, loaded with features.
Guzzlers be gone, the fit, new run up, the fit is go.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a screamer down the line that won't singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball-loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
The American League Championship Series. Let the show begin.
And the Red Sox win it!
The nation on center stage again. Pedroia, Uke, and Big Papi in the spotlight. Enter the Rays.
An unbelievable finish!
Longoria, Upton, Pena, and the young shining stars. Who will win? There's only one October.
Can you believe it?
Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability. It is a lot hotter tonight in Los Angeles than it's been the previous 3 nights we've been here, 2 games. And Cole Hamels will deal with Loney, Blake, and Kemp. 1-0 on the leadoff home run by Jimmy Rollins. And a strike. See if Cole Hamels in this second, Tim, can get the ball down.
Yeah, he did on that first pitch to Loney. A great mental approach by Cole Hamels. He's a very young pitcher, but can make the adjustments necessary when he doesn't have his best stuff. And in that first inning, he did not have his best stuff.
That's on the corner, strike 2. The sprint pitcher profile for Cole Hamels.
World-class changeup, rarely to left-handed batters, however. The lowest opposition's on-base percentage in the major leagues this year. And there's that great mental approach we talked about.
And Loney waited on it, drove it into center field. That pitch was up.
Danger area, you're right. Hanging breaking ball. This is what he did to Ramirez and to Russell Martin. Cause for concern, that hanger right there, inviting.
So the leadoff man is on, and Casey Blake will dig his way in. Casey thought he might have been the hero in Game 4. Hit the go-ahead home run in the 6th inning. For the first time in this series, the Dodger bullpen could not hang on to a lead. A bullpen that over the first 3 games allowed no runs over 11 1/3 innings. And after this home run in the 6th by Blake off Durbin, the Dodger bullpen coughed it all up, allowing 5 runs. 1 off Kershaw, and Quo, Wade, and Broxton all allowed runs. Blake is jammed, and that's into right for Worth. 1 on, 1 out.
It was interesting what Eric Caro said in the pregame show about going to right field if you're a right-handed batter against Hamels. That's because of that change-up away. But if you take that approach, then you have to still cope with that 90-mile-an-hour fastball inside, and that was the pitch that Casey Blake flied to right. The ins and outs of pitching.
Here's Kemp. That's to third, and a foul ball. Well, while the Phillies have not had major production from guys like Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins, who has homered here tonight, Worth with only 1 RBI this postseason. How about the combination of Matt Kemp and Andre Ethier, the center fielder and right fielder for the Dodgers? They have combined for 1 RBI the entire postseason against the Cubs and now the Phillies, as they play in their 8th postseason game. Strike 2 on Kemp. Grew up and is from San Diego, California. Now lives in Philadelphia, the 24-year-old left-hander. And the 17th overall pick in 2002. Came up in 2006. Career record of 38-23. 0-2 to Kemp. And a base hit into right. And Kemp does go the other way, and it's 2 on with 1 out.
Cole Hamels again missing up. Actually not missing up. Carlos Ruiz asked for the fastball there, and Kemp took care of the rest. I do not like that play. It's fashionable in baseball now for catchers to stand up. But, Joe, there is no way that that hitter either can hear the sound of the mitt being pounded that's high or peripherally pick up the catcher standing up. There's no way. I do not like that play.
Here's DeWitt, who grounds 1 to second. Utley flips for 1 and on to first, a double play. DeWitt is now 1 for 12 in this series. Joe Torre is stuck with him. He's left 13 men on. Hits into the double play into the third, 1-0. Phillies on top.
They're here.
No, honey, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV. So instead of watching our favorite channels in HD, we're stuck watching cable. Forgetting to switch to DirecTV? Yeah, that's gonna come back to haunt me.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
The legend was born in 1965 in the storage swamp of Florida, where the scorching heat took a brutal toll on the Gators.
The players weren't adequately hydrated and their performance suffered.
The answer, a new carbohydrate electrolyte beverage created by University of Florida doctors.
Naturally, we called our stuff Gatorade.
And when they won the '67 Orange Bowl, Gatorade had arrived. Born of humble origins, proven to this day. The legend continues.
Connect to everything you love in life with BlackBerry.
It's been an industry leader for generations. Born of a rich performance heritage. Equipped with breakthrough safety features. And wrapped in a classic, timeless look. We believe great cars take a vision not everyone shares. The E-Class, highest ranked mid-size premium car in initial quality 2 years in a row. Visit your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer today for information on special offers.
I love steak mix.
Enjoy your steaks, gentlemen.
Is this it?
You didn't order?
Valet's getting mine. I'm not a steak guy anymore, you know? There it is. Triple steak burrito. See, I'm more of a triple steak kind of guy.
Oh.
Taco Bell's new triple steak burrito. Steak, steak, and more grilled marinated steak. There's steak night, then there's triple steak night.
Triple steak guys, that's what we are. Get here.
Most incredible thing I've ever seen.
If I can control it, I can use it.
Come on. The Incredible Hulk.
Own the 3-disc special edition for a limited time Tuesday.
Top of the third inning, Phillies are batting and leading 1-0 as Billingsley deals with Cole Hamels and pours a fastball in for strike 1. Blake DeWitt bounced into that double play to end the threat in the second. And he has really struggled with the bat now. Count is 0-2 for DeWitt. He has now left 13 runners on base during this series to lead the Dodgers in a category no hitter wants any part of. And across those 13, every time there's been at least one runner in scoring position. He did come up with a 2-out 3-run triple here in game 3 against Jamie Moyer. That was the biggest swing of the night. That's the only time he's come through. The 1-2 pitch. Hamels strikes out. That'll bring in Jimmy Rollins, who had a good at bat and certainly a productive one back in the first.
Well, it would make sense that the more pitches you see, the better off you are as a hitter. Fastball in there for a strike. Second pitch, a curveball, ripped foul. Missing with the fastball. Another foul ball. So with the count full, this is the key pitch right there, that 3-2 pitch that allows him to stay alive to get the fastball to hit the home run.
And at the tail end of it, we'll show you what transpired. Pitched down and in. Here is the 6th pitch of the at bat again.
Yeah, that was the key right there. When you can stay alive on a pitch like that, you get this right here to give them the lead.
2-0 pitch now is just up and away, 3-0. 3 out of 18 swinging it in this NLCS is Rollins. Now 5 for 12 with 2 home runs in his career against Billingsley, who finds the strike zone. A 1-out walk. Rollins on for the 2nd time tonight. Jason Worth coming up. Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. By Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. And by The Incredible Hulk 3-disc special edition on DVD Tuesday. Also on Blu-ray high def. Here is Jason Worth, 1 on, 1 out. And the Dodgers will keep an eye on Jimmy Rollins. Ball 1. You know Jason Worth's grandfather, Ducky Schofield, who had a 19-year baseball career. His uncle is Dick Schofield. Played for a long time with the Angels, had a 14-year Major League Baseball career. His mother Kim competed in the U.S. Olympic trials, the long jump and the 100-meter.
I was a teammate of Dick Schofield back in 1968, and he used to tell me that he had his daughter Kim, who could just flat out fly. She loved to run and became an Olympic caliber sprinter.
A 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Worth has not driven in a run during this series. He hit a solo home run in the division series against Milwaukee.
When Jimmy Rollins runs, he is rarely thrown out.
47 times he was successful during the regular season, caught only 3 times. In my opinion, there is still heavy drama left in this series. The Dodgers trying to win here tonight behind Billingsley to take it back to Philadelphia, and in the process eliminate the best starting pitcher that either team probably has to offer. There goes Rollins. Pitch a strike. Throw down. Safe as he got around the tag.
What a great slide by Rollins. Not only head first, but with his left hand, he takes the right side of the bag. Otherwise, he's out. That was a terrific slide to give Rollins second base.
And a good call by Mike Riley, the second base umpire, is clearly Jimmy Rollins is safe. So now Billingsley has Jimmy Rollins at second, only 1 out, and a 1-2 count on Jason Worth, who can get his first RBI of this series with a hit. Instead, he strikes out. Martin finishes the play. 2 out. Here comes Chase Utley, and here was his high-level discussion he had with home plate umpire Mike Winters last time he came up.
Hey, Chase, how are you? Good. I just read you were from Pasadena the other night. I didn't know that.
I was born there. I didn't really.
Oh.
Long Beach. You?
San Diego.
Yeah.
That's nice being at home, isn't it?
That's between Mike Winters, the home plate umpire, and Chase Utley, who will try to find another hit. He is 6 out of 14 against the Dodgers. First time up, bounced into a double play. Mike Winters flinched, called it high, ball 1. Starting to say the Dodgers believe, and we talked to Joe Torre about it, you get this series back to Philadelphia, where they are 0-6 playing the Phillies, the Phillies home ballpark. But then you've got Kuroda going against Brett Myers, and then Derek Lowe on regular rest if there is a game 7 against either Blanton or Jamie Moyer. That pitch is high, 2-0. Blanton started, was not involved in the decision. Game 4 went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs, 7 hits. The night before, Moyer went an inning and a third, 6 runs on 6 hits.
When you know a pitcher is pitching around you, think along with him. He's got to get a breaking ball right here with first base open. Nope. Wow. Not only a fastball, but an inside fastball. Normally, with a guy like Utley with good power, when you fall behind 2-0, you try to keep the fastball away. That was inside. That pitch fooled Utley. Fooled the announcers, too.
And according to Fox Tracks, it wasn't even a strike.
Oh.
I think every time we show that, the pitch is a ball. I don't think we've shown a strike yet. The 2-1. That's high. 3-1. Rollins at second. He drew a 1-out walk, stole second. Worth struck out. And now it's Utley up on the count with Ryan Howard on deck. Will he come into him or put him on? Full count.
You have to change your routine. After the 2-0 fastball inside, he gets a 3-1 curveball.
That swing and miss woke up this crowd. That'll make him groan as it's 2 on with 2 out. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts in the inning, and it's up again to Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard averages a home run every 12.7 at bats. He did that during the season when he pounded 48. And it's been a long time since he went deep.
Dodgers have had tremendous success with Howard. Breaking ball after breaking ball.
Inside for ball 1. So 36 at bats since the last home run for Ryan Howard. And through games 1 through 4, this combination of Rollins, who usually gets going and can drive in runs from that leadoff spot, and Howard have struggled tonight. Rollins has been on base twice. He's homered. Howard checks his swing and fouls it. A ball and a strike.
That was a rare fastball to Ryan Howard. He certainly wasn't looking for it.
Howard trying to add to the Philadelphia lead here in Game 5 is way late on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't think he was ready for either of those two fastballs.
I agree with that. That's because the Dodgers have, again, fed him a steady diet of breaking balls. And that's a breaking ball swing at a fastball, and usually you're behind it.
Good block by Russell Martin. 2-2.
This game is featuring two of the best catchers in the National League in blocking balls. Russell Martin and his counterpart, Carlos Ruiz.
What did Joe Torre tell us before the game? Martin is still at times with 2 strikes trying to catch the ball in the dirt instead of trying to block it.
Yeah, and they have talked about it and will continue to talk.
Billingsley has racked up 4 strikeouts. Hard hit, base hit into right field. Rollins will score easily. Utley goes to third, and Ryan Howard has delivered with 2 out. 2-0 Philadelphia here in the 3rd inning.
There's a baseball expression that may be 100 years old. It's pack the bags and light the lights. Curves are coming left and right. Not this curveball. Hanging right around the belt for Howard, and he drills it past Loney at first to score the Phillies' 2nd run.
How good must that have felt for Ryan Howard? Oh boy. Finally connecting in a solid single into right. Rollins has scored both runs. Remember his slide on the stolen base, which put him into scoring position, and Ryan Howard clapping his hands drove home 146 during the regular season. That's only his 3rd of the postseason.
Joe, and thinking about that slide down at second base, Blake DeWitt does not have a lot of experience as a second baseman and actually received that throw in front of the bag. That infuriates catchers because runners have slides like that when a fielder is up in front of the bag. See how he's up in front, and Rollins going to the back side of the bag with his left hand. That is the only way he can get in there without being out.
Burrell now trying to add to it. Takes a breaking ball for ball 1. Pat struck out his first time. Since the 25th of August, Burrell is 6 for 43 with runners in scoring position. First and third, 2 out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Time is expiring on a lot of contracts of players involved in this series, and Burrell is on that list, a free agent to be.
Just players, no announcers, right?
No. I don't think. I don't know. With first and third, 2 out, a 1-1 pitch to Pat Burrell. And a shot into right center field. That's going to get down. Burrell gets a hit. It's 3-0 Philadelphia here in the 3rd. Back-to-back 2-out RBI hits by Howard and Burrell. And this crowd, which was waving their towels and cheering the Dodgers, now booing as the Phillies are inching closer to the World Series.
Ryan Howard hit a bad pitch. That pitch, as far as the location is concerned, wasn't that bad, but Russell Martin was setting up inside. When a catcher has to cross the plate, that's always a bad sign, and usually a sign that the pitcher has not hit the target.
Ryan Howard went first to third as Utley scored. And now Victorino takes the ball.
See how Russell Martin sets up inside, and watch where the pitch is. Outside part.
So facing elimination tonight, Joe Torre gets his bullpen busy with Chan Ho Park. And now one gets away. And good base running by Howard as he came down the line and went back as Burrow went to second.
So it'll be a wild pitch, but it could have been much worse. And you're right about Howard. Once he sees the ball carom back to Martin, he goes back to third. But that's what Joe Torre was talking about. Russell Martin trying to make catches on balls in the dirt like that instead of shifting the body.
You've got the new configuration here at Dodger Stadium. It's not that new, but it used to be a stadium with a mile of room behind home plate, and now with the luxury seats down behind home plate here, as you see in ballparks across the country. At Billboard, everything's pushed up. And that one kicked right back to Russell Martin. This is going to load him up as Victorino will draw the intentional walk, and it will be Pedro Feliz who can come up with an enormous hit for the Phillies. And Joe Torre makes a move down the dugout steps. Will he come up them? Looks like it. That'll be it. It's his second visit of the inning. So the bases are loaded, 2 out, and Billingsley roughed up again, cannot make it through the third. 3-0, Phillies on top.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Finally, Monopoly's back at McDonald's.
I want to win. I want to win.
There's a $100,000 grand prize daily, plus lots of cash and food prizes.
You don't need to do this. It's not a matter of luck.
And no matter what you do, the only way to win is to play.
What?
Don't miss out.
On October 24th, 4 cops died here.
That shooter was a cop. He said it was Jimmy.
Prepare for the most explosive cop drama in years.
They're dead. Our money's missing. There's only one of those things we can get back.
You got anything you want to say to me?
My guys were doing something. I didn't know about it.
Now what is going on here?
You breathe a word of this, I'll slit your throat. Pride and Glory. Rated R. Starts October 24th.
Oh my God.
It's the biggest identity switch ever.
Awesome. Awesome. Meh.
Joe Montana guest stars.
Cool poster.
It's not a poster.
Ah!
The Simpsons, all new at 8/7 Central Sunday on Fox.
It was in the third inning of Game 2 of the NLCS where Billingsley fell apart, did not have a good second, but then it all came apart in the third. It does so again here in game number 5. It's a 3-run game, that's all, and it's up to Chan Ho Park for the Dodgers to try to keep it within reach as he will deal with Pedro Feliz.
No consoling a pitcher when he's taken out this early of a big game.
Beimel's getting loose, a left-hander. But the big battle is right now with Feliz in Chan Ho Park. Feliz singled his first time up. And a breaking ball. A little wrinkle on the end of that pitch. For strike 1. Now Greg Maddux gets loose, so There is your long reliever if the situation presents itself for Greg Maddux, as he'll take his time in preparing here in the third. Phillies grounds to short. For Kyle goes the long way, and the inning is over. So the Phillies get two. Chan Ho Park does a nice job to get Phillies and end the threat. We go to the bottom of the third inning. 9, 1, and 2 spots in the order coming up for the Dodgers, who trail by 3.
So, how's my day look?
Well, 9:30 to 1, you send funny pics to your wife. From 1 to 1:15, texting your son throughout recess. 1:15 to 3, exchanging flicks with your daughter. 3 to 4, texting aimlessly to everyone. And at 4, a budget meeting. I can push the meeting to another day.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Share more with your family. Get these 3 phones free when you buy select Motorola phones like the Moto 755 for $69.99. Verizon Wireless.
I was sorry to hear about Vesper. I think she loved you.
You catch whoever did it?
No, not yet.
Name check. Dominic Green.
This man and I have some unfinished business. Get rid of him. Quantum of Solace. Rated PG-13.
Hey, man. How was your chicken sandwich?
I don't know.
Where'd you get that sandwich anyway?
I remember unwrapping, and then there was chewing, and after that, it goes blank.
If you can't remember your chicken sandwich, it's the wrong chicken sandwich.
You always take her side.
Wendy's new flavor dip chicken sandwiches. Tender center cut chicken breast dipped in barbecue or buffalo sauce. For flavor you can't forget.
It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's.
Here at our remote test facility, we put the Nissan Altima through over 5,000 extreme tests to help ensure long-lasting quality and durability. Of course, you'd never treat yours that way, right?
Sorry.
The Nissan Altima, made to drive, built to last.
So much good can come from a game. When I was younger, I was part of RBI, reviving baseball in inner cities. It brings kids together, builds confidence, and creates opportunity. And a great program. Major League Baseball proudly supports RBI.
1, 2, 3, RBI!
Beautiful warm night in Los Angeles. Bottom of the third inning, and the Dodgers will send in a pinch hitter, Pablo Ozuna, for Chan Ho Park, who comes in. There was a couple of pitches, gets out of a bases loaded situation. Phillies up 3-0, and it appears that Greg Maddux will be the third pitcher of the night for the Dodgers. Meanwhile, Ozuna fouls the first pitch away, strike 1. Call will follow in an 8th year. And there's Maddux, the 8th winningest pitcher in baseball history. 355 career wins, and no stranger to postseason baseball. All those years with the Atlanta Braves. Getting ready here in the third inning. Ozuna tries to bunt his way on and bunts it right back to Hamels, 1 away. 24 fans, the wait is almost over. Television's most addictive drama returns on November 23rd with an exciting 2-hour event, 24 Redemption, featuring the all-new Hyundai Genesis. 24 Redemption on November 23rd. Here is for Kyle, 0 for 1. Rafael Furcal grounded out to short his first time. He's 4 for 16 against the Phillies. He's jammed. He pops it up right side for Utley. 2 up, 2 down in the 3rd inning against Cole Hamels. Don't miss any of the action. The 2008 Major League Baseball postseason. The excitement continues with the ALCS on TBS, the NLCS on Fox, and then the World Series here on Fox. And TBS will have game number 5 after an off day today in that series. Tomorrow night starting at 7:30 with the Tampa Bay Rays up 3 games to 1. And everybody at TBS have done a great job bringing postseason baseball to the country, and they're having their end of the year party on their off night.
All right.
In Boston. A 1-0 pitch. Ethier takes a strike.
Not a wrap yet, guys.
That's another interesting series. I mean,
oh, yeah.
If you think about where they are now with Tampa Bay up 3 games to 1, it has been one of the most impressive displays of young talent that we've seen in a long time.
Absolutely.
With what's happened the last 2 games and the first 2 games at Fenway Park. 22 runs, 27 hits. A 13-4 win for Tampa Bay in game 4. Carl Crawford went 5 for 5. Longoria's up to 5 home runs this postseason. They've hit 10 home runs in the series. Here's a 1-2. But if you think about Matsuzaka going and how good he was in game 1 tomorrow in that series against Shields, then if he gets the series back to Florida, then if you're Boston, you've got Beckett, who hasn't looked right, and Lester going in game 6 and 7, trying to slow down the Rays, but they're winning in every phase of the game. The Tampa Bay Rays.
Of course, the Boston Red Sox had a much better team in 2004 than they do this year. But when they trailed the Yankees by 3 games to nothing that year, in game 3, the Yankees won that game 19-8 in a game where more hard balls were hit than any 9-inning game I've ever seen.
How about a changeup for a swing and a miss, and strike 3, and the first strikeout for Cole Hamels, who now is settled in. We go to the 4th inning, game 5, 3-0 Philadelphia. Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by BlackBerry, by the entirely new Audi A4. Progress is beautiful. And by E-Trade. 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Phillies, up 3-0. That means Ruiz, Hamels, and Jimmy Rollins against Greg Maddux. The split time this season between San Diego and the Dodgers. A 3-player deal with San Diego on August 19th brought him back to Los Angeles, where he was back in 2006. The 0-1. Ruiz flies one into right. Ethier is back. 1 out. We had a chance to visit with the hitting coach, Milt Thompson of the Phillies, and we talked about the start to the Phillies night with that leadoff home run from Jimmy Rollins.
Well, he did the same thing in game 4 in Milwaukee. Got to 3-2 and you know, hit a home run to get the game started for us. He did the same thing tonight.
And it looked like Ryan Howard was surprised, finally getting a couple of fastballs, and then he delivers a rocket into right field. I know you'd love to get him rolling.
Yes, we definitely would. This series we've been pretty good hitting with 2 outs and men in scoring position, so just want to keep it up.
How about one more word on another guy in your order, and that's Shane Victorino. He's down in the number 6 spot. He hasn't had a ton of hits in this series, but some huge at-bats for your club this postseason.
Yes, he has. That's the one thing about the playoffs. It's usually some guy, you know, in the middle of the lineup who comes out big, you know, when this time of season comes along.
We appreciate your time, Milt. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. All right.
Hitting coach Milt Thompson for Charlie Manuel, and this is a Philadelphia club. It's hit .353 with 2 out and runners in scoring position. They've added to that in that statistical category within this game, as they got 2 out RBI hits in the top of the 3rd inning to make it 3-0. And Maddux is out in front of Cole Hamels at a ball and 2 strikes. That's the right hand of Carlos Ruiz, you have to believe, as they try and help Hamels That pitch just missed. Be able to look in and pick up the fingers of Ruiz so we can get the signals.
And you notice his thumb is not painted because his thumb is not used for any sign.
The 2-2 on the inside corner, 2 out.
How many times have major league hitters seen this 2-strike pitch from the master? Looked like it was a little low, but against a pitcher, that is vintage Maddox right there.
A 23-year big league career for Maddox. 3.55 and 2.27 and a career ERA of 3.16. There's a strike. The guy who came up with the Cubs in '86 was there through '92 and then had a terrific run with the Atlanta Braves under the tutelage of Leo Mazzoni. They're the 1987 Cubs, and side by side Greg Maddux, who's pitching for the Dodgers, and Jamie Moyer, the Game 3 starter for the Phillies.
Yesterday when we were young.
The 1-1 pitch. One ball, 2 strikes on Jimmy Rollins. Mentioned the ALCS resuming tomorrow night, and the Tampa Bay Rays have switched and will pitch Scott Kazmir in tomorrow night's game. Against the Boston Red Sox. Here's a 1-2 pitch with 2 out, nobody on. Rollins takes the ball.
Leads one to wonder if James Shields is hurt, to switch to a left-hander at Fenway Park with the Green Monster, of course, in left field. Highly unusual for Joe Madden and the Rays.
There's that tailing pitch. And Rollins is back on the list of big league hitters who have seen it and not done anything with it. 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up for the Dodgers. It starts with Manning. They're down by 3.
The new 375 horsepower Hyundai Genesis has a more effective braking performance than the BMW 550i. So you can avoid the obstacles you expect. It also has an extraordinary system of safety features. So you can deal with the ones you don't. Find out more at HyundaiGenesis.com.
Introducing Taco Bell's new 89-cent Volcano Taco. With spicy lava sauce, it could be the spiciest taco ever.
Wait, my Volcano Taco. Don't look at me.
Why pay more for heat when you can think outside the bun?
Ladies and gentlemen, flight 152 is now boarding to Honolulu.
Check, check, check. Business class.
Board it, man.
Safety check.
This in here, and we're out of here.
All right, let's get the show on the road, boys.
Buckle up, dudes. Close it up.
I'm tracking the luggage guys on screen.
Loading.
Lights. Stage.
Roger, you were cleared for takeoff.
Let's rock.
Get work done now. Communicate in less than a second with rugged Nextel Direct Connect phones. Only on the Now Network.
Hi, welcome to Progressive.com. How can I help you? Well, I haven't shopped for car insurance in a while.
And you're worried that you've been paying too much, right?
Yeah. So how can I know I'm getting a good deal?
We can compare your Progressive Direct rate with other top companies.
Wow. Seriously?
Yeah. Look at the deal we just got him.
That's a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, or a big tricked out name tag.
Making sure you get a great deal. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
Seems like you need to be a physics professor to choose the right TV. Luckily, I am one. Your choice is the brand behind the first LCD display in a calculator. The dreamers who evolved the LCD into a 3-inch TV. The designers who first hung an LCD TV on a wall. The pioneers who gave America full HD 1080p in an LCD TV. The creators of the world's largest LCD display. Or choose all of the above. Sharp.
Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
Family Guy's transported to an all-new adventure. Straight into
into World War II.
Uh-oh.
Great disguises, boys. Hope they work.
How's it going? It's a dog-eat-dog rank, and I'm wearing bacon pants.
Family Guy. All new Sunday at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
We talked earlier about a number of different players who have contracts that are expiring at the end of this postseason here in 2008. There is no bigger or more interesting name on that list than Manny Ramirez. One of the most important in-season additions any team has ever made, as he hits one hard on one hop to Pedro Feliz, one out. Dodger ownership, in my opinion, Tim, is in a tough spot.
They are.
Manny is 36, obviously a future Hall of Famer, has been unbelievable, has rejuvenated this franchise. But what are you getting if you sign Manny Ramirez to a long-term deal? And if you don't sign him and bring him back, what are you saying to your fans who fill these seats? There's Ned Coletti with all of these dreadlocks and everything else, and the way he's taken this town over representing the Dodgers. With one out, Russell Martin takes a ball.
I think he'll get his money, around $25 million, but I don't think he'll get the length because of the problems he had with the Boston Red Sox. Serious problems.
One ball, no strikes. Martin hits it down the right field line, slicing toward the seats foul. Kenny Rosenthal is with us. Ken, I know you scour the different GMs and you end up asking a lot of questions looking ahead to next year in deals. What are you hearing about Manny Ramirez?
I'm hearing just what Tim said. I spoke with the general manager this week who said that if he were in position to sign Manny, he'd have no problem giving him $25 million to $30 million a year, but not long term, only for 2 years. Now, the problem is a lot of people in the game, general managers, do not trust Manny after the way he left Boston. They see him now as an extremely motivated player, a different guy than he was, even though he was productive for Boston in July. And that's the issue a lot of teams have.
One ball, two strikes, and now time called. With Russell Martin at the plate, backed up on the count.
I would think, Ken, that if it were for more than 2 years, it would be so incentive-laden and heavy on years 3 and 4 if they agree to go that route.
Here's one off the end of the bat, back to Hamels, and Cole Hamels is in total control now. He walked one in the first, allowed 2 hits in the second. He's retired 6 straight, and he'll deal with James Loney, 2 out, nobody on. Scott Boras is Manny Ramirez's agent, and if you had to think ahead as well there, Ken Rosenthal, how do you think Scott Boras will try and sell Manny Ramirez around baseball?
He's going to point to exactly what happened here. He's going to say Manny was unhappy in Boston. He performed brilliantly with the Dodgers when he was happy, and he'll be happy with his next team. He'll say that Manny is a historic player who is driven to become one of the all-time greats. He'll point to his postseason performance and say, look, this guy can take your team to the championship. And finally, he'll say, hey, Manny Ramirez sells tickets, sells merchandise. Look at what happened in LA.
And Ken, this is all information you got from talking to
Scott Boras.
0-2 is the count on James Loney with 2 out and nobody on. But he has become beloved here with the Dodgers since he was picked up at the deadline in the 3-team deal. Loney strikes out. Cole Hamels is rolling, and so are the Phillies here in Game 5. Up 3-1 leading 3-0. Back after this from your local Fox station. The Cowboys without Tony Romo, with Brad Johnson, with Roy Williams, meet the Rams or other regional action. Coverage begins with America's #1 pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, and high def right here on Fox. Here's Chase Utley with Worth at first and nobody out. Might be. Loney couldn't get it out of his glove. Safe at first. And Loney smacks his hand into his glove. He just believes he blew an opportunity for a double play.
Yeah, he couldn't get it out cleanly, and that glove, the first baseman's mitt is so big that this happens a lot for a first baseman. The bigger the mitt, the tougher it is to grip the ball to throw it. And that's what happened to James Loney right there, and the delay cost him.
And the old 17-time Gold Glove Award winner Maddox was over there covering, and they even gave it a little stretch. But there's the bobble, and that's why it's 1 on 1 out instead of 2 out nobody on, and Ryan Howard will be the hitter. During the regular season, Maddox was 6-9 with San Diego, decent ERA of 3.99. Came to the Dodgers, made 7 starts, was 2-4 with an ERA over 5. Ball 1.
Joe, one of the remarkable things about Greg Maddux, you talked about his 355 career wins. He's only won 20 games twice. He won 20 games in 1992 and 93. Once with the Cubs, once with the Braves.
However, as you look at all those years, what has to jump out at you is the ERA.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, year after year, he never went on the disabled list. He was a guy that always took the ball for Leo Mazzoni and the Braves. As Howard gets one off the end of the bat. Base hit into right. Ethier plays it. Utley holds at second. And it's 2 on with 1 out. It's ironic that Greg Maddux is on the mound, because if you roll the tape back to 1993, the last time the Phillies clinched the pennant and went to the World Series, Maddux made the start. That was a Hollins home run. The game ended with Mitch Williams coming up with a strikeout, and the celebration was on. The Phillies lost in the World Series to the Toronto Blue Jays. Some great names, whether it's Eisenreich or Lenny Dykstra. I mentioned Hollins. Heck, Mariano Duncan was on that team for Philadelphia. He's now the first base coach for Joe Torre and the Dodgers.
John Kruk, Darren Dalton,
Mickey Morandini.
Mickey Morandini, as Harry Callis would call him.
There's Mariano Duncan, who started his career as a player with the Dodgers. Here is Pat Burrell, who has big numbers in his career against Maddux. 2 on, 1 out, and Ryan Howard is now 2 for 3. He's at first. Utley's at second. Strike 1.
Among many things on which Maddux is a professor on the mound, with Joe Beimel, the left-hander, warming up, it's to get ahead with the fastball and then try to get the hitters out on balls out of the strike zone. Prey on the anxiety of the hitter. We'll see if Burrell bites. Change up here. Oops, fastball.
Time call. We've mentioned it before, but the great quote by Greg Maddux in tight spots, it really applies to a number of different situations in life. It's not just pitching when you're in trouble, but he said, when the times get tight and I'm in a jam, I go softer.
Back off.
Other people trying to throw it through a wall, and he takes more off. Keeping an eye on Utley back at second. It's 2 on with 1 out. And any more runs with the way Cole Hamels has settled into this game would be devastating to the Dodgers' hopes of trying to get this series back to Philadelphia. The 0-1. Ball and a strike. That's tonight's starting pitcher, even though he doesn't look like it. It is a hot night in Los Angeles, and looks like he just rolled out of the trainer's room and is hanging out on the dugout bench, not having done anything. The 1-1. Burrell pops it up, foul and out of play. Strike 2. Maddux, who grew up in Vegas, has that gamesman's mind. Tough to play cards against, tough to try and outguess. to the hole, and it's literally kicked by Furcal. Coming to the plate, Utley. He's safe. The ball gets away, and the runners will end up at second and third. From what might have been a double play ball to a 4-0 Philadelphia lead, second and third, only one out.
I don't think there's any question about it. If he doesn't boot that ball, Burrow is out on the double play. But just superb base running by Chase Utley. Watch for Carl. Once he boots it with his glove, he kicks it with his left leg. Now he looks at Utley. That look cost him. The thing you do once you boot it, get there as quickly as possible to make the throw. That look cost the Dodgers at least another run, but great base running by Utley.
And now Howard takes third on the ball that got away from Russell Martin. First base is open as Burrow went down to second. It's an error, straight error on Rafael Furcal. You give 2 errors on that play.
Well, that makes sense. This is the first error, kicking it with his left foot. Still 1 error. But now looking at Utley, and then when he came home, he threw past Russell Martin and 2 runners advanced. So a double error on Furcal.
So the bases are loaded. Shane Victorino has been intentionally walked. There are the 2 errors up on the board. And the bases are loaded. 4-0 Philadelphia. And Pedro Feliz, who bounced out with the bases loaded back in the third against Chan Ho Park, could blow it open. Ball 1. Howard, Burrell, and Victorino, third to first. Here's a 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Beimel's ready to go, but it's Maddox now with Feliz up and Carlos Ruiz on deck. Here's a 1-1. Strike 2. Maddox, who doesn't rack up a lot of strikeouts anymore, needs one here. Would love the double play ball. Here's a 1-2. And he gets the strikeout. Trying to keep the Dodgers in the game. That's the 3rd strikeout for Greg Maddux.
That's a rare high fastball for Greg Maddux. He used to get a lot of swing and misses at that pitch, but not so much anymore. He just doesn't throw as hard as he once did.
So here's Ruiz. For Carlos, 0 for 2 tonight and 5 out of 14 in this NLCS. Strike 1. The Dodgers in the bottom of this 5th will have Blake, Kemp, and DeWitt. Two hits in this inning, an intentional walk, and 2 errors on 1 play committed by Rafael Furcal on a ball hit by Burrell. Two and 1. Ruiz with 1 RBI this postseason. Came in game 2 of this NLCS. Drove home just 31 during the regular season. Hit .219. Ahead on the count here, 2 and 1. Slow roller up the third baseline, foul, 2-2. Shane Victorino is wearing a microphone for us. He's been intentionally walked 2 times tonight. Here's what he said after his first.
Jimmy, never in my wildest dreams I would think I would get intentionally walked. Huh? Never in my wildest dreams I would think I ever got intentionally walked. Yeah. Dude, he hit perfect right on the back. The middle of the pole, like whatever that the thing that turns, hit right smack in the middle, and went right back.
Talking about that wild pitch that hit and came right back to Russell Martin. 2-2 pitch is grounded to short for Call. Throws low and another run. Another error. Burrell is hung up between third and home, and now he goes back to the bag as Loney throws it away, and this has been a nightmare inning for Rafael Furcal.
The third error of the inning for Kyle. An easy play to get Ruiz. An in-between hop for James Loney. James can't come up with it. Burrell rounded third and was halfway down the line. Loney throws the ball way over the head of Russell Martin, but fortunately for the Dodgers, Greg Maddux backs up. Here's the throw. That's one play. And now Burrell goes halfway. Loney's throw goes over the head of Russell Martin, and only 1 run scores. I say only. Oh, what an inning. Wow.
So 3 errors on for Kyle here in the 5th. The bases are still loaded, 2 out, and Cole Hamels, the pitcher, is the hitter. And Hamels tonight has struck out twice, once against Maddux. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal. Ken?
Joe, Rafael Furcal told me before the game that after Game 4 he couldn't sleep. He just was really troubled by that game. Thought the Dodgers should have won. Well, how is he going to feel after this one?
I think Victorino just said something to him to try and have him keep his chin up a little bit. He's the Phillies runner out at second base. You can see Furcal say something back to Victorino with a little smile on his face, but that smile is hiding a lot of frustration here in the 5th inning with his 3 errors. One ball, 1 strike on Hamels. 5-0. Phillies on top. And a ground ball to first. Picked up by Loney. And that's it. Phillies have stranded 7 on the night. Have scored 5 and lead 5-zip here in Game 5.
Introducing Traverse, the all-new crossover from Chevy, with seating for 8, best-in-class cargo space, and an EPA estimated 24 miles per gallon on the highway. It's everything you've ever wished for, and then some.
So I'm not worried about CEOs. I'm not worried about corporate lobbyists. I'm worried about the couple that's trying to figure out how they're going to retire. I'm worried about the family that's trying to figure out how they can save for their child's college education. I'm worried about the guy who's worked in a plant for 20 years and suddenly sees his job shipped overseas and has lost not just his job, but his health care, his pension, and the sense of dignity that comes with having a good job. That's who I'm worried about. That's who I'm going to be fighting for and thinking about every single day that I'm in the White House. I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
This ain't gonna be easy. Not as easy as it used to be.
Bring home the #1 DVD in America. You know what? Now at an unbelievably low price. Reverse! Reverse! Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Own it on DVD and Blu-ray today.
Hi, I have an oven-baked sandwich for Steve.
Why would I order a Domino's oven-baked sandwich? I love Submart.
Just leave it over there.
Introducing Domino's Oven Baked Sandwiches. You got 4 savory flavors for just $4.99 each. Domino's. You got 30 minutes.
So what do you want your iPhone to be today? With the MLB app from the App Store, it can be a score checker, live pitch updater, or a video highlight player. But any way you cut it, It's officially a game changer.
Hey man, what kind of light beer do you want?
Whatever, they all taste the same.
Hold on. They all taste the same. Does bath water taste the same as spring water? Does a carrot stick taste the same as a stick? Stick. Does ground beef taste the same as beef on the ground? Bottom line, there is a difference. And Bud Light has it. It's called drinkability. That just right taste. Not too heavy, not too light. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Introducing Traverse, the all-new crossover from Chevy, with seating for 8, best-in-class cargo space, and an EPA estimated 24 miles per gallon on the highway. It's everything you've ever wished for, and then some.
Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by Chevy Traverse. It's everything you've ever wished for, and then some. Let's go back to the top of this fifth, and Shane Victorino did indeed say something to Rafael Furcal when he was out at second base.
Keep your head up, buddy. Come on.
Just a little keep your head up to Furcal, who committed 3 errors in the top of the 5th inning, leading to 2 unearned runs. And it's 5-0. Philadelphia on top. I think this postseason in 2008, postseason baseball obviously makes stars, national stars out of certain players. And there's a whole host of them that are being introduced to the country with the Tampa Bay Rays. Victorino is on that list for the Phillies. A heck of a player and a good sport. There's a strike to Casey Blake as this crowd tries, with help from Tommy Lasorda, to get behind the Dodgers, who face elimination. Blake gets it started.
Casey Blake going the other way on the changeup. That's probably the best at bat against a changeup the Dodgers have had against Cole Hamels in this series. I agree with you. Victorino is a heck of a player, but good sport or no good sport, that's an odd comment coming from Victorino to an opposing player. Keep your head up.
Here's Kemp. Ball 1. Good tailing pitch for a strike. It's 1-1. Late swing and a foul, 1-2. Chris Myers is down in the seats with Mitch Hamels, brother of Cole Hamels. Chris.
Joe, I'm with Mitch. He said that you said your brother grew up a Padre fan, Trevor Hoffman. Was he more nervous pitching here in Southern California near his home in San Diego, or just pitching in the National Championship Series?
I think he's more excited than scared, but it's kind of a dream come true for him. And, you know, he's just excited to come out here and play, and this is what he wants to do his whole life. So he's very excited for this.
You're obviously a Hamels and Philly fan. You safe here in this Dodger crowd? They're a little edgy tonight.
Yeah, I'm a little edgy wearing the only red hat kind of in this section, but you know, it's fun being out here with the competition, and I love it.
And I know you're a pitcher yourself in college. Good luck to you, and there may be a party, Joe, in the Hamels household tonight.
So far, so good for the Philadelphia left-hander. Dodgers trying to ruin that party. Here's a 1-2. 2-2. As that goes around the strike zone. It's Kemp now, then Blake DeWitt, and then the pitcher spot. another hit. 2 on, nobody out. And another opportunity for the rookie Blake DeWitt. Matt Kemp is 2 for 2. And DeWitt leads this Dodgers team in runners left on base with 13.
The only other time the Dodgers had 2 straight hits against Cole Hamels in the first inning of Game 1. They scored in that inning and would love to keep the carousel moving here.
Strike 1. Joe Torre compared Blake DeWitt to Mike Lowell of the Boston Red Sox at the beginning of this series, saying he reminded him of that type player. To be a winning player on a winning club. Here's a chance for him as he slides out of the way of ball 1. Two and 1. DeWitt grounds 1 to second. Utley, good play. Double play. 4-6-3. And DeWitt is bounced into another killer double play for the Dodgers. Back in the second, down 1-0. Blake DeWitt grounded 1 to Utley. This one harder hit. And Utley made a pretty good play to his left.
Well, the throw to Jimmy Rollins was the impressive thing. Right to the outfield side, it gave Rollins a chance to make the throw and jump over Matt Kemp, who is a hard slider in the second. That is really well done by Chase Utley.
And now Jeff Kent, who's hitless during the postseason. Runner at third, 2 out. Jeff Kent has never been, for as great as his career has been, he's never been a good man off the bench. And his career just 5 for 39 as a pinch hitter for an average of 128 with 17 strikeouts. James McDonald, the right-hander, getting loose for the Dodgers. Strike 2 from Cole Hamels. His brother Mitch watching. Cole Hamels is trying to get out of this 5th, which started with back-to-back hits by Blake and Kemp. Then the double play, and now the 0-2. A strikeout to end the inning as Jeff Kent remains hitless during the postseason. We go to the 6th inning of Game 5. Still 5-0 Philadelphia.
Progress. It starts with more models than Toyota or Honda with an EPA estimated 30 miles per gallon highway or better. Next, it's a lineup of hybrids that fit the way you live. And one day, Chevy Volt, a car that can go up to 40 miles before it uses any gas at all. That's an American revolution.
HP TouchSmart PC with Intel Core 2 Dual Processor. See more at hp.com/TouchSmart or your local retailer.
They're dead. Our money's missing. There's only one of those things we can get back.
Now what is going on here? Were you in on this?
We sold our shields off. Highest bidder. Murder for hire.
Did you hear what I've said? Jimmy executed him.
Be smart. They were burying the truth.
This goes deeper than you think.
I will not apologize for doing what I do.
Pride and Glory. Rated R. Starts October 24th.
Everyone, today we move forward. Because today, I give you push to talk. Boss, we already have push to talk.
These came with holsters.
Yeah, well, we switched to Verizon Wireless. And this comes with this. Whoa. That's better than a holster.
Upgrade today to the only push-to-talk that comes with a network. Activate push-to-talk on 5 or more business lines to get this great deal. Verizon Wireless.
Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by Verizon Wireless. Get sports clips, scores, stats, and more right on your Verizon Wireless phone. It's the 6th inning. Jeff Kent is in the game at second base. New pitcher is McDonald, and trying to bunt his way on. Rollins barely becomes the first out here in the 6th. It's an interesting move made by Joe Torre in that Blake DeWitt is yanked out of this game. DeWitt is in the number 8 spot. That spot actually will come up before Jeff Kent's spot. But that's where the pitcher will bat, and Joe Torre elects to leave the veteran Jeff Kent in the game and pull the rookie DeWitt. And DeWitt has really struggled. 1 for 13 with 15 runners stranded on base during this series. The guy who started spring training with the minor leaguers was the opening day third baseman, went back down to the minor leagues, came up as a reinvented second baseman. Really had a solid rookie season, but the Phillies have absolutely shut him down. The 1-1 pitch. Strike 2.
Well, you talked about Jeff Kent being a poor pinch hitter. 5 for 39. Joe Torre probably figuring that since you're down by 5 runs, maybe Kent can run into one, as the players say, in the later innings with a couple of guys on base. 377 home runs in his career.
Maddox did a nice job while he was in there. 2 innings, 2 runs unearned. He allowed 2 hits. Here's a ground ball to second. Kent takes care of Worth. 3 strikeouts for Maddox and 1 intentional walk. This November, hope has a fighting chance because Jack is back in an all-new 2-hour television event, 24 Redemption. Before the new season begins this January, Jack Bauer will face his most personal mission yet. 24 Redemption, the 2-hour television event, Sunday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here only on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. With 2 out, nobody on. Ball 1 to Chase Utley.
James McDonald facing his idol. Chase Utley is 29 years old. James McDonald is 23. They both went to the same high school, Long Beach Polytechnic, which is really more famous for the football players that they have groomed. Out of high school, 17 NFL players have come out of Long Beach Polytechnic.
McDonald was so good in game 2, went 3 1/3, no runs on 2 hits with 5 strikeouts and 1 walk at Philadelphia.
James saying he saw Chase in the workout and was very skittish about going up and saying hi to him.
Here's a 2-1. Utley rips it foul. We heard from Ken Rosenthal earlier in the series during that game 2 outing by McDonald, as he was picking up one out after another, that it was McDonald that could have been included in a deal for Sabathia with the Cleveland Indians, and the Dodgers did not want to give him up. Sabathia went to the Brewers. Phillies beat the Brewers. McDonald still has his good stuff. A perfect top of the 6th. Top of the order coming up for the Dodgers, who trail by 5.
Connect to everything you love in life with BlackBerry.
We're taking the KFC $10 challenge to see if we can get all the ingredients to make a 7-piece meal for less than $10.
7 pieces of chicken is how much?
Flour. Here you go. Whoa.
Do you have the secret herbs and spices?
I don't know. That's it. We're over $10. Looks like we're going to KFC.
Yes.
You can't cook this for $10. Without our secret recipe, you can't cook it at all. 7 pieces of KFC original recipe, 1 large side of 4 biscuits for just $9.99. Take the $10 challenge and see for yourself.
Hey, batter. Hey, batter.
First base, $58. Second base, 630 pesos. Third base, 300,000 yen. Home, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's credit or debit MasterCard. Fan of the game, wherever there's a game.
Seconds before an accident, the M-Class senses the collision and closes windows in preparation. Dual-stage airbags then deploy on impact, while the advanced crumple zone and cabin design absorb and deflect energy around the passengers. Safety innovations we're proud of at Mercedes-Benz, and ones we hope you never get to see. Test drive the newly redesigned M-Class today.
She had a terrible cold.
Terrible.
I was grinding my teeth. I typed in stomach fat.
TV. Poison ivy.
I'm always on WebMD.
WebMD has information that used to be scattered in millions of places.
All in one place.
Migraine.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Healthy aging.
I get tips on skincare, beauty, nutrition. It's a Bible to most mothers.
I trust WebMD because my doctors trust WebMD. You find these random sites and you end up wasting a lot of time.
I don't need a million answers. I just want the good ones.
WebMD. Better information, better health.
They're here.
No, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV, so we're stuck watching cable.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable.
Bottom of the 6th inning, top of the lineup for the Dodgers. And the guy who was leading it off, Rafael Furcal, second player all time to commit 3 errors in a single inning. Willie Davis did so for the Dodgers in World Series Game 2. And Tommy Lasorda is doing his best cheerleading efforts, trying to get the Dodgers on the scoreboard as a breaking ball is in for a strike, 1-2. Two and 2. Cole Hamels has been outstanding. Got around 2 hits in the 5th. Got around 2 hits in the 2nd. Works in the 6th. And a little 3-hopper to the second baseman. Utley makes the play. 1 out to start the bottom of the 6th inning. And we look ahead to the World Series. All games are on Fox. The series will open in the American League city, either Boston or Tampa Bay, and there it is. Wednesday, October 22nd is game 1. Then Thursday, a travel day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. All these games starting at 8 Eastern. Travel day prior to game 6 on a Tuesday, and then if necessary 6 and 7 on Wednesday and Thursday. Here's Ethier, and there is strike 1. If the NLCS ends tonight, the Phillies will have plenty of time to get Cole Hamels rested and ready for game 1. Just missed Ethier, and it's 1-1 with 1 out, nobody on.
Obviously, from a Phillies standpoint, you want Manny Ramirez to hit with the bases loaded. From the Dodgers viewpoint, if Ethier can get on, that'll wake up this stadium.
2-1 on Ethier. In for strike 2. Good fastball from Cole Hamels. Ethier hits it pretty well down the left field line. Burrell is back to make the catch on the dead run. And that keeps the bases clear in front of Manny Ramirez.
His nickname is Pat the Bat. Here it's Pat the Glove. Good play by Pat Burrell.
So the bases are empty, 2 out, and Manny Ramirez, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out, digs his way in. As we mentioned the last time up, this could be the last night for Manny Ramirez in a Dodger uniform. Depending on what happens, a free agent to be. And the Dodgers will have to make the decision, as will Manny Ramirez, depending on the interest that he draws from around baseball. There's a short list of teams that can afford a player like Manny Ramirez. One ball, one strike. Phillies got a run in the first on a leadoff home run from Rollins, 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth. Strike 2.
Talked about it many times before. The thing that separates Ramirez with 2 strikes is that it does not rob him of his power. Guys like Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs come to mind, great 2-strike hitters, but they gave up something. Ramirez gives up nothing with 2 strikes.
With 2 out, Ramirez hits it deep into right. At the wall, he's gone deep. Home run Ramirez on a 1-2 pitch.
Again, standing up is Ruiz, and Hamels hits the mitt. But Ramirez hits the ball.
He adds to his record, now 28 career postseason home runs.
Obviously, strength a factor in his hitting with 2 strikes. But the way he can identify a pitch, his pitch identification, is as good as I've ever seen.
A ball and a strike on Russell Martin.
He lets the ball travel so far in the strike zone and has such power the other way.
But he has not had much help in this Dodger lineup.
Nope.
The cleanup hitters in this series alone, 2 out of 15 with 1 RBI. And 12 runners left on base. The 2-1 pitch. 3-1 with Loney on deck. That's foul. Full count. Strike 3 called as Hamels gets his 4th strikeout of the night. And Russell Martin and the home plate umpire Mike Winters get into it. Home run Manny Ramirez. It's 5-1 after 6. Back after this from your local Fox station.
Fox tomorrow. It's North versus South when the Yanks take on the Bama boys. They'll battle the holes and make beautiful music together.
You got the look for the hole in the wall. The challenge is hold your balance and make sure you don't fall.
Dude, just stick to the holes. Hole in the Wall, a new hour tomorrow at 8/7 Central on Fox.
On the next Good Day, we're all about the Phillies as we paint Good Day Philadelphia red, plus reactions from the game tomorrow on Good Day.
We're live in LA with player interviews and all the highlights tonight after the game.
Obama rewards his friends with your tax dollars. Tony Resco, $14 million. Allison Davis, $20 million. Kenny Smith, $100,000. That's unethical. Congressional liberals promise to raise your taxes to reward their friends with wasteful pork. Taxes for you, pork for them. Who's going to stop them? Congressional liberals or him?
I'm John McCain, and I approve this message.
Strength is power. Introducing the all-new TL. The most powerful Acura ever built.
Work's so crazy right now. Fashion Week's coming up, and I have to meet with all these LA designers to line up clothes for the show. It's so crazy.
What? What?
Reflect your style. Get the new ultra sleek LG Shine. It's this season's hottest accessory, designed to move you fashion forward. Get our exclusive LG Shine for only $49.99 and get one free, only from AT&T.
Saved by Zero.
Now, for a limited time only, you can get amazing zero APR financing on your favorite Toyota.
Saved by Zero.
That's 0% financing on 11 different models featuring Toyota's legendary quality. No other car brand can make this offer. So hurry in now and see how much Zero can save you on a new Toyota.
Saved by Zero. Saved by Zero.
Russell Martin back behind the plate after arguing with the home plate umpire Mike Winters. 7th inning now, and McDonald pulls the string on Ryan Howard. Strike one. Howard with 2 hits tonight. He came in with 3 in this entire series. At the start of this game 5, it's 5-1. Phillies leading, trying to end the NLCS here tonight. If you're just joining us after watching the debate, we're here at Dodger Stadium, game 5. Phillies up 3-1 and leading here 5-1. Here's the Verizon game summary. Jimmy Rollins led off with a home run. First time that's happened in an NLCS game since Jose Reyes did it in 06 for the Mets. And then Rafael Furcal with 3 errors in the top of the 5th inning, which led to 2 unearned runs. Made it 5-0. Now it's 5-1 after a Ramirez home run. Here are the errors back in the 5th. Could have been a double play ball. Furcal kicked it away, then threw it away. And then another run scored on a routine ground ball that he threw into the dirt at first. That was with Greg Maddux on the mound. And it's been a 4-error NLCS for Furcal as Burrow hits it straight up the chute. And it's Casey Blake, 1 on 1 out.
How about that? Perfect timing. One debate ends and another one begins here at Dodger Stadium between Russell Martin and home plate umpire Mike Winters after Martin was called out on this 3-2 fastball from Cole Hamels. Tell you, and that's the worst position to play when you end an inning with a pitch that's a borderline pitch, and now you have to go back and sit in front of that same umpire and get pitches for your pitcher.
Now it's Victorino, who tonight, batting in the number 6 spot for the 2nd straight game, has been intentionally walked twice and struck out. Ball 1. Off the end of the bat, and that almost stayed fair. And he's going to check and make sure there are no chips out of the end of the bat.
Little Willie Masconi shot fouled down the 3rd baseline.
On the inside corner, strike 2, and Victorino stays in that same position. He didn't like the call.
That's one of those pitches. Had the Dodgers not gotten that call, Russell Martin may have been run from the game.
And going down to get it, lining it into right, is Victorino. That was not too much unlike the home run he hit here 2 nights ago in game 4. This one stays in the park easily, falls in front of Ethier. In our WebMD injury report, we go to the ALCS and look at the dislocated right middle finger of Carl Crawford, who was 5 for 5 last night in that game 4 for the Tampa Bay Rays. For more information on injuries affecting your team, visit WebMD.com. Here is Phillies, who's 1 for 3. He's left the bases loaded twice. A walk, then a 1-out hit. Strike 1.
Joe, you talked about Victorino with the 2-run homer to tie it the other night. And Charlie Manuel talking about Matt Stairs and how one of the most important things in hitting is getting the count in your favor. Imperative to hit in the major leagues or anywhere. 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-0, 3-1. Where you can get a predictable pitch, and boy, did Matt Stairs ever get one 2 nights ago to win it for the Phillies in the 8th inning.
0-2 on Phillies, 2 on, 1 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes after that breaking ball missed. On deck is Ruiz. There's action for the Dodgers in their pen, and the bullpen for the Phillies is quiet. It's Beimel again. Running pitch for strike 3, and now Loney saves a wild throw. What a good pickup by Loney. And he just saved the 4th error of the night for the Dodgers.
Russell Martin trying to throw behind Victorino.
Actually, that ball stayed in the under the body of Victorino. I thought Loney came up with it, but Victorino smothered it getting back to the bag.
Time, please.
Well, he wanted to get hit in the ribs earlier in this series. You just did. With Kuroda on the mound saying, don't throw at my head, throw at my ribs. He just got one in the midsection thrown by Russell Martin, and the body of Victorino saved a run. Ruiz now 2 on, 2 out. No balls, 1 strike. And a line drive down into the right field corner. It's foul. Strike 2. Let's go back to that game-winning home run by Matt Stairs.
Yeah, Charlie Manuel saying you've got to narrow the focus and don't be late. The first pitch missed, then the slider missed. Beg your pardon, the first pitch hit. And on a 3-1 count, hitters hit out of an imaginary box out in front of the plate. 3-1, you shrink the box. He got it in the box, and the Phillies won the ball game. Well, that is a perfect look at a guy who got a pitch to hammer. He knew what was coming, and did he ever cloud it?
First postseason home run. As ball 1 misses a little tight to Carlos Ruiz. Joe Torre's Dodgers will have Loney, Blake, and Kemp bat in the bottom of this 7th. Blake. Inning is over. A walk, a hit. 2 more scoreless innings put up by James McDonald. Time to stretch. Dodger Stadium, 5-1 Philadelphia.
Let's talk merger. Beep. Ned's phone. Ned doesn't have AT&T, which means no bars here in Finland. So when Ned's boss called to say not to mention the merger, Ned, don't hint at the merger, Ned, don't even think about the word merger, Ned, it isn't finalized and everyone will freak out. We didn't get that call.
For the best coverage, switch to AT&T. More bars in more places. Get our exclusive LG Shine for only $49.99 and get 1 free.
Where can you find me? At the intersection of my new life and my new lifestyle. Driving. Wheatgrass?
Yeah, how was it?
Change the scenery? A State Farm agent will be there to help you get the right coverage at a great price.
You know that place where there's never a rain delay? I am so there.
Call, click, or visit and start saving today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
What's this? It's wheatgrass. So what do you think of my screenplay?
Hey, what kind of light beer do you want?
It doesn't matter. They're all the same. Whoa! All the same? Are they all as easy to drink as Bud Light? Isn't water from this hose easier to drink than water from this one? Isn't this bottle easier to drink from than this one? And wouldn't you agree that a raindrop is easier to drink than hail? Point is, there's a difference, and Bud Light has it. It's called drinkability, the just right taste that makes Bud Light so easy to drink. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability.
Consistency pays off in business, travel, and baseball. Isn't that right, Cal?
That's right. What is Cal Ripken Jr. doing here?
Consistency earned him the nickname the Iron Man.
What will consistently staying at the Holiday Inn get me?
He could get you official MLB merchandise and tickets.
Could it get us all nicknames?
Like what?
Mrs. Ripken Jr.?
Bob.
Snake Eyes?
Really?
The more you stay, the more you earn. Holiday Inn.
We move into the bottom of the 7th inning of game number 5. Phillies trying to win the pennant here tonight. Lead 5-1. Eric Bruntlett takes over in left. And first up is James Loney against Cole Hamels as action starts for the Phillies in their bullpen. This has the feeling of a much more lopsided game, but it's only a 4-run game as we play in the 7th inning. The Phillies tonight have stranded 9 runners on. Scott Air, the left-hander, getting loose. Here's a little flare into center. On comes Victorino. Gets a good jump, 1 out. The batter will be Casey Blake. Tonight's game on Fox is sponsored by Holiday Inn. The more you stay, the more you earn. By WebMD, better information, better health. And by Chevy, an American Revolution. Leadoff man is gone against Hamels. Here's Casey Blake, 1 for 2. Now Ryan Madson, the right-hander, joins Scott Air. Madson's been as valuable out of that bullpen as anybody. For Charlie Manuel, Lidge has been perfect. 5 saves this postseason, but Madson has done the job in solidifying that setup relief role for the Phillies. Some big outs here 2 nights ago. That's high, 2-1.
And with Cole Hamels' spot due up in the top of the 8th inning, pitcher batting first, one would think this will be it for Hamels.
Blake hits it well into right center field. Victorino back for out number 2, covering a ton of ground in right center field.
Come on, baby.
How appropriate is that for Victorino to make a catch right up against the best buy sign, because he may be the best buy the Phillies have made in the last 10 years.
He was smiling before he caught it.
He was.
Come on, baby.
So 2 out, nobody on. Here's Matt Kemp. Strike 1. Not only the best buy, but he was offered in a return, and the Dodgers didn't take him. For 50 grand offered back to this Dodger organization. 2 times left exposed as a Rule 5 player. Ruben Amaro, part of a very good front office for the Philadelphia Phillies, is one of the main guys who saw the talent with Victorino, wanted to keep him around, and boy, has that paid off.
He and Gene Lamont, who, by the way, lives down in the St. Pete area. He was the manager of the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre AAA affiliate of the Phillies. Victorino had a terrific year in 2005. Lamont had great reports on him, and that piqued Charlie Manuel's interest. But you're right. I mean, Ruben Amaro was the guy, says Charlie, before the game tonight.
But you think about what's happened here with Philadelphia over the years. You've got 2 GMs in play here with Ed Wade, who's now with Houston. And then, of course, the great Pat Gillick, and his career is sensational. But this is a Philadelphia club, and Hamels is a big part of it. The core of this team are all homegrown players.
Right.
Talking about Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, Pat Burrell, Cole Hamels, Brett Myers, Ryan Madson. That's the group around which this Philadelphia team is built. And it's still relatively young. Burrell is a free agent to be. But when you can do that and then add pieces as you go, as they have, and lately it's been Pat Gillick who's been the one adding those pieces. Well, here they are. 7 outs away defensively from going to their first World Series since 1993.
Ken Rosenthal talking before the game that perhaps with Burrell being gone, Manny Ramirez might be reunited with Charlie Manuel, his old manager and hitting coach.
Mentioned Pat Gillick has announced he will retire as the GM after this season. He's already cleaned his office out. 51st season in pro ball, 27 as a general manager. He's from the LA area. Pitched for USC. That's ball 4 to keep this inning going. He built the Blue Jays from scratch. Won 2 World Series championships with Toronto. Went to Baltimore, took them to the ALCS. Went to Seattle, took them to the ALCS. Now Philadelphia. And the 3 teams that Gillick has left haven't been back to the postseason since he took off.
How about that? What a great note that is.
Steve Horn, our editorial consultant, helping out with that as Nomar Garciaparra is announced as the pinch hitter after the walk to Kemp. With Jeff Kent on deck. Wouldn't take much for the Dodgers to get back in this game. Strike 1 on Garciaparra. It's only the second walk handed out by Hamels tonight. 2 out to Kemp. Strike 2. 2 quick strikes to Nomar Garciaparra. Garciaparra batting for James McDonald. 2 innings, 1 strikeout, 1 hit, 1 walk. No runs. The 0-2. Just missed outside. Garciaparra fights it off. And Hamels still hitting 93 on the radar gun with that inside fastball.
Cole Hamels has faced the Dodgers 3 times this year. He's pitched 7 innings and given up 2 runs in each of his 3 appearances.
That's high, 2-2. Now a full count. Kemp will leave with the next pitch. And Ruiz leaves the plate to go out and talk to Cole Hamels. A guy with 377 career home runs, and Jeff Kent waits to hit next. That's high. 2 on, 2 out. And we'll see if with Jeff Kent coming up, who's gone 11 at bats since his last home run, if it'll be Madsen or if it will remain Cole Hamels. Back-to-back walks with 2 out. For a Phillies team that stranded 9 runners on tonight. There's a lot of discussion going on down there about what to do with Kent coming up.
Well, with the pitcher coming up in the 8th inning, I think Charlie is talking to Jimmy Williams about perhaps a double switch here. Remember, as you said, Joe, he's going to make a move. It's a matter of whether it's going to be a double switch or not. Maybe straight up. If it is, you can only use Madsen for 1 hitter.
So with Manuel not going to the umpire first, he still hasn't made the move to the bullpen officially. He may want to talk to Hamels first.
Might be one of those conversations where I want you to be honest with me.
So Charlie Manuel, who will take a private plane back home after tonight's game and attend the funeral services for his mother, who passed away prior to game 2. Leaves Cole Hamels in the game with 2 on, 2 out. And Jeff Kent could make it a 1-run game. Strike 1.
When Joe Torre made the rather odd move of leaving Kent in the game in the 5th inning, we said that Kent, with his 377 home runs, perhaps Joe Torre thought he could run into one late in the game. Well, now's the chance.
One ball, one strike. So Blake DeWitt was pulled going into the 6th inning. Bounced into 2 double plays tonight, and Joe Torre kept Kent in the lineup, and it's paying off right now with this opportunity here in the 7th. Two and 1. Two and 2. .377 career home runs. He's hit 9 in the postseason on top of that. The 2-2. Got him looking. Cole Hamels strikes out Jeff Kent to end the threat in the 7th. Charlie Manuel stayed with his ace left-hander, and it paid off. 5-1 after 7.
We had 2 very bad colds.
I fought off the bed.
I typed in pregnancy.
Cholesterol.
Food allergies.
With WebMD, everything is in one place, from parenting to nutrition,
meditation, yoga, diet,
vaccines.
You click here, you're like, oh dang, there's something else.
I found tips for reducing stress.
You just keep clicking, it's just for some reason you just start get the itch.
The sources are so clear. They're MDs, they're PhDs.
I don't need millions of answers.
Just one good one.
WebMD. Better information, better health.
They're here.
No, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV, so we're stuck watching cable.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable.
Darren! Papa John's is here!
Everyone's excited for this year's biggest adventure. The big taste of the XL Explorer Pizza. 30% bigger than our large. With your choice of any 3 toppings. A big deal at $13.99. Plus, get a $3 off coupon for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull on DVD. Call or click papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Firefighters, settle down. How about the budget?
Balances.
And the taxes?
One page or less.
Anyone want better roads?
We do.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done. A lot of paper to tell us we need clean water. Need clean water, guys? All right, this is the easiest job I've ever had. We're out of here.
Get work done now. Communicate in less than a second with rugged Nextel Direct Connect phones. Only on the Now Network.
The Bowl Championship Series returns to Fox January 2009.
Some defensive changes for the Dodgers. Casey Blake moves from third to second. Nomar Garciaparra stays in the game. And the number 8 spot in the lineup, he's at third, and Joe Beimel is the new pitcher. Jeff Kent is finished for the night. And Kent, while he was in there, struck out twice. Once with a runner at third in the 5th inning, and then with 2 on and 2 out in the 7th. Here's So Taguchi batting for Cole Hamels. And the left-hander is pitching his way toward an MVP award potentially in this NLCS if the Phillies hang on. 7 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts through 104 pitches tonight. Taguchi grounds to second, and Blake just moved to second base. Takes care of Taguchi.
Number 11.
And we give you this replay sequence brought to you by BlackBerry. BlackBerry on your game. First batter of the night for the Phillies. Good at bat by Jimmy Rollins, and for the Phillies up 3-1 right out of the gate. They jumped on top. That's it for Beimel. 1 batter. He's gone, and Wade will take over here in the 8th.
I love steak, man.
Enjoy your steaks, gentlemen.
Is this it? You didn't order?
Oh, valet's getting mine. I'm not a steak guy anymore, you know? Oh, there it is.
Grilled marinated steak. There's steak night. Then there's triple steak night.
Triple steak guys, that's what we are. In here.
They're here.
No, honey, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV. So instead of watching our favorite channels in HD, we're stuck watching cable. Forgetting to switch to DirecTV? Yeah, that's gonna come back to haunt me.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
So, Dad, can I borrow the car?
Where are you going?
Just to the movies.
Who's going?
Kathy and Dylan.
Dylan?
Yes, Dad, Dylan.
Thanks, Dad.
She's growing up, whether you like it or not. That's why State Farm created the Steer Clear program. Teens learn safe driving, you get lower rates. When you're there, State Farm is there.
Where are you going?
Work.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Corey Wade now in the game, 1 out, nobody on in the 8th. Wade took the loss in Game 4. He allowed not only the game-tying 2-run home run to Shane Victorino in that 4-run 8th inning, but allowed Carlos Ruiz to get on with 2 out with a base hit. And Broxton took over, fell behind Matt Stairs. Stairs hit a home run, and the bullpen did its usual good work for Philadelphia. There's strike 2 on Rollins. Madsen preparing to come on in the bottom of this 8th. That's high. Corey Wade trying to keep this game within reach. Top of the lineup will bat for the Dodgers in this 8th inning. 2-2. With 1 out, nobody on. 2-2 pitch is fouled back. Here's the last pitch to Jeff Kent. Kent thought it was low. It was low on Fox tracks. He argued with Mike Winters, called out, and the threat was over. Rollins grounds to second. The ball always finds you. Casey Blake is there. He's 2 for 2 on chances. Cole Hamels in game 1 went 7 back in Philadelphia. There are his numbers from game 1. 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. He got the win. And then tonight, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run on the Ramirez home run. Got over 100 pitches on the night. And now he'll hand off to the good Philadelphia bullpen as Worth takes a strike. The bullpen for the Phillies that's allowed 2 earned runs in 16 2/3 innings in this NLCS. That's fair ball. Garciaparra with a backhand, good play. And the Phillies go in order in the 8th. We go to the bottom half. Top of the order for the Dodgers with time running out, trailing by 4 here in game 5.
So what do you want your iPhone to be today? With the MLB app from the App Store, it can be a score checker, live pitch updater, or a video highlight player. But any way you cut it, it's officially a game changer.
He was the #1 draft pick. He's a slam dunk champion. He has 30% more lung capacity, the reflexes of a puma. And yes, Dwight Howard's got mad skills. But you've got French fries. Monopoly at McDonald's is back and serving up a shot at $100,000 every day. So you have exactly the same chance to win as anyone else. Period.
Hey, I think you're getting in his head a little bit.
It's anybody's game to win.
The new 375 horsepower Hyundai Genesis has a more effective braking performance than the BMW 550i. So you can avoid the obstacles you expect. It also has an extraordinary system of safety features. So you can deal with the ones you don't. Find out more at HyundaiGenesis.com.
So I asked my dad where he wanted to go for his 60th birthday. Norway, he said, the land of our ancestors. We drank a pint at Ibsen's favorite pub. We sampled the local fare. We got new sweaters.
I feel like yodeling.
It was the trip of a lifetime, Dad said, until we went to the Hall of Records and discovered we were actually Swedish.
2 tickets to Stockholm, please.
Whatever your story is, your City card can help you write it. Because City never sleeps.
3 a man's proudest accomplishments, the wheel, fire, and the tailgate. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. See what's going on. What are you grilling?
Ostrich burger.
Ostrich? And you gonna wash it down with Miller High Life?
Most certainly.
You guys are 5 yards short of common sense. Can I borrow this beef?
Yeah, sure.
All right, pay attention. Now watch your hair. Smell how good that is?
Yeah.
Beef and high life and you're in. You with me? Now you're living the high life.
Thank you.
Ostrich. That's not a burger, that's a bird.
Rafael Furcal will try to get on base for the first time tonight, leading off. He provided the game-changing plays. Brought to you by Sharp Aqua's LCD TVs, the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. Sharp Aqua's, change your TV, change your life. 3 errors in the top of the 5th inning, which took it from 3-0 to 5-0. And against Ryan Madsen, how about 97 miles per hour, strike 1 for Kahlo for 3. Could be his last at bat in a Dodger uniform. Madsen has been outstanding. And a shattered bat. Ball is caught on a line, and a diving catch by Utley. And everybody's attention was diverted with the shattered bat and that jagged end of it twirling into the seats. Utley made the play up the middle, and thankfully, I believe the bat landed harmlessly in the seats.
Well, smiles on the right faces. That gentleman and the one sitting to his left appear to be all right.
Here's Ethier, 1 out, nobody on. Madsen's throwing hard, 97. Strike 1 to Ethier, who's 0 for 3.
Mix that in with the second best changeup on the staff. The best belongs to the guys replacing Cole Hamels.
Ethier gets under the pitch and flies it into right center. Worth is there for out number 2. Tonight's game on Fox, sponsored by Miller High Life. Good, honest beer at a tasty price. By Sharp Aqua's LCD TVs. Change your TV, change your life. And by the new Hyundai Genesis, it all starts with this. Here is Manny Ramirez, who's 1 for 2 tonight, and who is hitting .500 in this NLCS. 7 out of 14 with 2 home runs.
He has batted with the bases empty every time up tonight.
Furcal 0 for 4, Ethier 0 for 4. Ramirez has walked, grounded out, and homered. They've called it Mannywood around here in Los Angeles with the Dodgers. Will that continue past 2008? The 1-0. Good heat from Madsen, a ball and a strike. One ball, one strike. Too much heat upstairs.
I don't think I've ever seen Ryan Madsen throw this hard.
Neither is Manny Ramirez.
No.
He's quoted as saying you can see the finish line now, so let it all hang out. And he's doing that here in game number 5. Two and 2. The 2 hitters in front of Ramirez tonight. The 1 hitter behind him in the 4 spot, Martin. A combined 0 for 11. The 2-2. And a foul tip. The Cleveland Indians did not make any postseason appearances from 55 to 94. With Manny in an Indians uniform, 2 pennants, 5 postseason appearances. The Red Sox, you know that story, no World Series title. After 1918 through 2003, they won 2 titles in 4 years. And the Dodgers hadn't won a postseason series since 1988. They defeated the Cubs in the division series, but they're down here 3-1 and trailing in game 5, 5-1 in the 8th. Manny fights it off, and Madsen's been hitting 97 since he came in.
Aren't too many times, particularly the .396 average that Manny Ramirez has carried over the last 2 months, that pitchers have gone out there and said, here it is, hit it. But Madsen certainly in that position with the Phillies up by 4.
Time called as Ramirez steps out. And now Ruiz goes out to talk. Rollins to his left, can't get to it. Ramirez another hit. Hitting over 500 in this NLCS. And on base for the 3rd time tonight. Tell you what, if this is the end of Manny Ramirez in a Dodger uniform, he could not have done any more.
No.
He's meant so much in the clubhouse. He's lightened the atmosphere, and all he has done is hit and hustle. But the problem in this NLCS, the number 4 spot behind him is now a combined 2 for 16 with 1 RBI and 12 left on base. The 0-1. Ramirez takes second. They don't pay any attention to him. 1 ball, 1 strike. No stolen base. Madsen's focus is on Russell Martin. Too much heat. 96. It's 1-2. Joe Torre described the swing of Russell Martin as long sometimes, trying to do too much instead of keeping his swing a little more compact to make contact. Overmatched with that 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It's a 1-2 count. A check swing, easy one for Ryan Howard. We have played 8 innings here in game 5. 1 inning away are the Phillies from winning the pennant. They lead it 5-1. Into the 9th we go.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a screamer down the line that will singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball-loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
I love steak, man.
Enjoy your steaks, gentlemen.
Is this it? You didn't order?
Valet's getting mine. I'm not a steak guy anymore, you know? Oh, there it is. Triple steak burrito. See, I'm more of a triple steak kind of guy.
Oh. Taco Bell's new triple steak burrito. Steak, steak, and more grilled marinated steak. There's steak night, then there's triple steak night.
Triple steak guys, that's what we are. In here.
Dear Steve Ender, the Fit, new raw Honda, the Fit is go.
They're here.
No, they're not here. We forgot to switch to DirecTV, so we're stuck watching cable.
Get 3 times more HD channels than cable.
Nice flight, Captain.
When this 250-ton aircraft touches down at 155 miles per hour, I know what I can rely on. These tires. For a smooth and safe landing.
Bridgestone tires in aviation.
Bridgestone. What happens when you put the iPhone 3G on the nation's fastest 3G network? Well, because the network is faster, the internet is faster. Because the internet is faster, pages load faster. Because pages load faster, you don't have to wait to place that winning bid on eBay. The iPhone 3G. On AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network.
Fox tomorrow. When the Yanks take on the Bama boys, they'll battle the holes and make beautiful music together.
The hole in the wall, make sure you don't fall.
Dude, just stick to the holes. Hole in the wall. A new hour tomorrow at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Hong-Chi Kuo, 7th pitcher of the night for the Dodgers as they take the field in the top of the 9th inning. Chase Utley first up. And that one takes off. Fastball up and in, ball 1. Utley, Howard, then Bruntlett. Kuo went an inning plus in game 4. Allowed a hit to lead off the 8th inning, and that started the trouble. He came out, Wade came in, and after getting Pat Burrell, Wade gave up the 2-run home run to Shane Victorino. That tied it. Later, the home run by Stairs won it and changed the entire complexion of this NLCS as strike 2 goes by the bat of Utley, who's hitless tonight, but he has scored 2 times.
Yeah, had Kuo been throwing well that 8th inning 2 nights ago, Joe Torre would have stuck with him. But he didn't like the way the ball was leaving his hand when he was warming up. He made the move, and then the home run given up by Corey Wade, and then Jonathan Broxton with the 2-run home run to Stairs.
Broxton is getting loose now, as is Bradledge. It will not be a save situation in the bottom of this 9th inning for a guy who has saved 49 consecutive games when he's had the opportunity, dating back to last year. It's ball 2. This year, including the postseason, 46 of 46. The Dodgers in the bottom of this 9th will have Loney, Blake, and then Kemp. The 2-2. Utley went around, and that's out number 1. If it stays as is, our Chevrolet player of the game, Cole Hamels. His performance was everything the Phillies fans could have wished for and then some. Go to worldseries.com/Chevy to score a virtual game ticket your chance at a VIP trip to next summer's baseball's All-Star game. 7 innings, 2 runs in game 1, 7 innings, 1 run here in game number 5. Here's Ryan Howard. Strike 1. You can look back to that game 4, and it was a base hit by Ryan Howard against Quo that chased Quo and started all the trouble. The Phillies eventually cashed in on opportunities. Ball 1 down and in.
And thinking back in this game, a very important play in the 5th inning when the Dodgers had runners on at 1st and 2nd and nobody out, and the double play turned by Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins.
Breaking ball stays up and in. 2-1. Back in the 5th. Utley the play to his left, and for the 2nd time DeWitt bounced into a double play, and that was enormous. The 2-1 is high. 3 balls and a strike. Howard has 2 hits, a walk, an RBI, a run scored. And now rips one into right. For Howard, that's his 3rd hit. Good play by Ethier to cut it off. And it's a 1-out single. Well, not only are Dodger fans and broadcasters and everybody impressed with the hitting of Manny Ramirez, so are the Phillies, and in particular, Shane Victorino.
Dude, that is unbelievable how easy he does it. I'm just, how does he do it, dude? Manny. It's, or him too. I mean, it's stupid. His ball moves. How does Manny do it, dude? He finds a hole every time. That's a different level, though. But I'm talking about just staying with that approach. I mean, he's throwing balls that are about a good ball length off the plate. I mean, I'm hacking. Can't hit it.
And hear Victorino say, "I'm hacking," and that is, I would imagine, an expression that's been heard in opposing dugouts throughout Manny's career, but never more so than here in the 2nd half of 08.
Yeah, and Brett Myers saying, I can't find any holes. And he doesn't have any.
Blake starts it for Kyle in the middle. That means we go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Dodgers, who trail in game 5, 5-1. Today is the 20th anniversary of one of the most improbable postseason home runs ever hit. Game 1, Kirk Gibson, Dennis Eckersley. Take it away, Mr. Buck.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable! A home run for Gibson. And the Dodgers have won the game 5-4. I don't believe what I just saw. I don't believe what I just saw.
He hit it off Dennis Eckersley, who was basically automatic. Couldn't start that game because obviously he was not healthy. Both legs bothering him, and he made his way around the bases. The home run won game 1, and the Dodgers won that World Series in 1988 over the Athletics. The Dodgers need some sort of miracle here tonight just to get this NLCS back to Philadelphia. And they have to do it against a guy who's been perfect when the game has been on the line this year for the Phillies, against a bullpen that has been perfect when leading after 8. James Loney first up against Brad Lidge. Strike 1.
That's the thing. You have to take a strike against Lidge, because if he has a bit of an Achilles heel, it's his wildness.
Loney is 1 for 3 tonight. Strike 2. Casey Blake will follow, then Matt Kemp. If anybody gets on, Nomar Garciaparra. Ball one. Ball two.
Two nights ago, you have to be aware of. That slider goes down in such devastating fashion that Ruiz is called to block it many times.
Loney breaks his bat and gets a hit.
The fastball.
Bradledge from time to time, even with the success this year, can be a white knuckle type closer.
Yep.
No save chance here tonight. A little breathing room, but it wouldn't take much to give the Dodgers hope. Good fastball for strike one to Casey Blake, who's 1 for 3 tonight. A little tight, 1 ball, 1 strike. To this point, the Philadelphia Phillies have hit very well situationally. They've shown power. They've pitched well from their starting rotation, from their bullpen, played good defense. Here's a 1-1. The slider, strike 2.
Just disappearing. Much better to the right-handed batters than the left-handed batters.
Another righty on deck. Kemp. Ruiz can't find it. It stays right at home plate. 2-2. Blake hits it in the air to right center. Victorino to his left. 1 on, 1 out. Philly fans holding their breath, watching this unfold, while the Phillies, as an organization, are now 2 outs away from their 6th National League pennant. They won it back in 1915, lost in the series to Boston. Won it in 1950, lost in the series to the Yankees. Won it all in 1980. Pennant winners in 83 and 93, but lost to Baltimore and Toronto. And now they're 2 outs away from their first trip back to the World Series since 1993. Here's Kemp. Ball 1. Kemp has been on base 3 times tonight with 2 hits and a walk. Up on the count here, 2-0.
Kemp will take here.
The Dodgers need 2 more base runners to have a chance. Kemp hits it in the air to center. Drifting back is Victorino at the wall to haul it in. That's out number 2. He throws all the way back to first, and now the Phillies are 1 out away.
Let's rephrase that. Kemp should have taken there. Dodgers trailing by 4 with 1 on and 1 out in the 9th inning, and you're not going to take a 2-0 fastball? I don't understand it.
Hit it 395 feet to straightaway center. The clock holds it. Dodgers down to their final out, and it's Nomar Garciaparra. Loney takes second on ball 1. Juan Pierre has come into the on-deck circle. A high strike. It's 1-1. Garciaparra has had a couple of at-bats in this NLCS against Brad Lidge. Trying to extend the night. Two and 1. Good slider, 2-2.
Slider and a fastball count. Lidge pitching with a world of confidence.
Three and 2, and Ruiz got out to block that ball in the dirt. He is tested every time he has to catch Brad Lidge. Garciaparra pops it up. Ruiz says he's got it. The Phillies win the pennant. And for the first time since 1993, Philadelphia's going to the World Series.
We congratulate the Philadelphia Phillies on their pennant winning. We hope you continue to be with us every step of the way.
Charlie Manuel out to celebrate with his team, a club that won 92 games during the regular season. Beat the Milwaukee Brewers in 4 games in the division series, and in 5 games beat the Dodgers in the NLCS. Another Brad Lidge slider ended the night. Tim, this Philadelphia ball club showed the Dodgers in just about every phase of the game, whether it was defense, situational hitting, hitting for power, relief work, starting pitching work. They outplayed the Dodgers and deserved this trip.
Yeah, their bullpen was very strong, and it backed Cole Hamels, who will probably be the MVP of this League Championship Series.
Let's go down to the field and check in with Chris Myers. Chris.
Sure, Jamie Moyer congratulating Ryan Howard. The Phillies celebrating behind us here. And I know Disneyland is just down the road, but congratulations. You and the Phillies are going to the World Series.
Oh, man, it's a great feeling right now. It's great. I don't know. I don't even know what to say right now. You know, we've been working hard all year. Dodgers played great. I don't know. It's a great feeling right now.
3 hits for you tonight, winning in 5 games. What was the difference for the Phillies in this series to advance?
You know what? I think a lot of people depended on us hitting home runs, and we found ways to manufacture runs without hitting home runs, even though those were good when we needed them. But, you know, we found a way to get it done, and our pitching staff's been great so far.
That's a big smile you deserve. You've been very patient. Philly fans have been patient, but worth the wait.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. I mean, these guys are going crazy right now, and I can only imagine how it is right now in Philadelphia. So we're going to the World Series. So let's get ready.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. We'll see you in the celebration of the locker room. Let's go over now to Ken Rosenthal. Ken?
Yes, we're here with Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy, leadoff home run in the division. Leadoff home run in the division series clincher. Leadoff home run in the LCS clincher. Tell me about that 8th pitch at bat, and tell me about your plans for the World Series.
Well, hopefully my plans for the World Series work out a little better than they did for the Championship Series. But, you know, it's funny. I got to that 3-2. Actually, I was about a 2-2, and I really started having flashbacks of what happened in Milwaukee. And I was like, if I could just get it to 3-2, I know he's going to have to throw a fastball because you don't want to walk the first guy, get on steal bases, make anything happen. And, you know, I bagged up off the plate. They had been pitching me in, and they still were getting me out in. But he decided to go for a pitch out over the plate, and I was just able to put a good piece of the wood on it.
You were the 2nd-round pick of the Phillies in 1996. You made your major league debut in 2000. You spent your whole career in this organization. How satisfying is it to finally get to the World Series?
You know what? After hearing about the 93 team, Eddie team over and over and over again, we finally have a chance to make our mark. And like I said, you know, this was an organization that, you know, I felt when I got here, I wanted to try to change, and I had my opportunity to. You know, we've been used to losing. When I first got called up, it was just go out there and see what you can do. I want to be like, you know, you get called up because we need you here to win. We think you can do the job for us. And, you know, this is definitely the first step. We've taken a lot of steps, but this is definitely the biggest step and the first step in the right direction. We just got to go out there and find a way to win 4 more.
Jimmy, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Joe, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ken and Chris. The celebration on the field, and we will have more of the celebration for the Philadelphia Phillies when we come back. How about Cole Hamels in this series? 2-0, an ERA against the Dodgers of 1.93. He's the winner tonight. Phillies are going to the World Series. We'll have plenty more after this from your local Fox station.
Monday nights are so thrilling, so dangerous, so Fox. First, a mysterious woman from the future exposes a soldier's secret past. Jesse.
Hey, baby.
All new Terminator. Then, when enemies become allies.
Are we partners?
Partners. Who will cross who first?
Schofield will use you, and then he's gonna bury the knife in your back.
All new Prison Break. Viewer discretion advised. It all starts Monday at 8/7 Central on Fox. The biggest night on television is Fox Tuesday with medicine's most brilliant mind.
You can't be judgmental.
And yet.
You'll have to excuse Dr. House. He mistakes immaturity for edginess.
And the FBI's most unlikely heroes.
Dr. Bishop, any thoughts?
Yes. Where can I get one of those white suits?
All new House. All new Fringe.
I like to watch.
Oh, yeah. It all starts Tuesday at 8/7 Central. So new. So Fox.
Stick around. The postgame is next on Fox 29.
Somewhere on this street, a family saving for college, or retirement, or trying to get a loan. Wall Street greed and government mismanagement have put every part of our economy at risk. We need to work together to stop this economic disaster, protect taxpayers with caps on executive pay, and demand accountability so this never happens again. Washington just wants to fight each other. I'm fighting for change to strengthen our economy. I'm Patrick Murphy, and I approve this message.
Don't be afraid of the pump. The Accord from Honda. Go to shophonda.com to build and price your own fuel-efficient Accord.
The American League Championship Series. Let the show begin.
And the Red Sox win it.
The nation on center stage again. Pedroia, Uke, and Big Papi in the spotlight. Enter the Rays.
An unbelievable finish.
Longoria, Upton, Payne, and the young shining stars. Who will win? There's only one October.
Can you believe it?
We welcome you to the Chevy postgame show here on Fox. Chevy, an American Revolution. Here in Los Angeles, the celebration for the Phillies continues underneath in the clubhouse. Before we go down there, let's listen in to the final out as broadcast back to Philly fans for the great Harry Callis in his 38th year with the Phils.
A 3-2 pitch, swing and a pop-up. This game is going to be over. Carlos Ruiz squeezes it, and the Phillies are the National League champions. The Phils move on to the World Series. Brad Lidge fittingly gets the final out as the Phillies have won it by a score of 5-1, taking the Dodgers in 5 games.
The great voice of the wonderful announcer, Harry Callis. Let's go down into the clubhouse and check in with Chris.
Thanks, Joe. For the Phils, a fanatic celebration, the trophy presentation. Charlie Manuel, Cole Hamels, the MVP for this National League Championship Series, General Manager Pat Gillick, CEO and President David Montgomery, and Bill Giles, who's the honorary National League President and Chairman of the Phils, with the Warren C. Giles trophy. Your father would be proud watching down at this special moment.
He would be very proud tonight. Congratulations to David and Pat and Charlie. You know, the great thing about this team, they showed so much character. Every day there was a different hero. And to the fans, we set an all-time attendance record. Without their support, we wouldn't be here. So I thank the fans. It's an honor and a pleasure to present a trophy named after my dad to my old sidekick. And now we have the 2008 National League champion, Philadelphia Phillies.
All right, and congratulations. He hired you some 35 years ago. You're a Philadelphia guy.
Chris, this is so special. The Warren Giles Trophy means probably more to me than just about anybody that could possibly receive it. It's been a special relationship with Bill. I just want to take a second on behalf of our entire organization. Bill talked about it, but we've had thousands upon thousands of really passionate Phillies fans supporting us all year. And the credit goes to these guys. First of all, to Pat, Ruben, Mike Arbuckle for assembling this club, and they did a great job fine-tuning it. And to Charlie and his staff for the leadership they provided, the focus for this talented club. And all we had to say is we're honored to represent the National League and the city of Philadelphia in the upcoming World Series.
All right, and Philadelphia is great. Yeah, don't get too much champagne on that. Thank you, David, and Pat Gillick. Everywhere you've been, it's been a success story. It doesn't stop here. Congratulations once again.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And I think a lot of the credit for this celebration tonight should go to Ed Wade, because he put together a lot of this team. 3/4 of our infield, Cole Hamels, Pat Burrell. They're all guys that...
You did make the addition of Matt Stairs, and that was a big home run.
I kind of filled in around what Ed had in place, and so a lot of credit should go to Ed Wade and his group, because they did a tremendous job getting a nucleus here in Philadelphia. On to the World Series.
All right, congratulations again. Let's quickly go to Cole Hamels, the MVP, and 2 wins in the series, 7 innings plus. So just talk about tonight's performance, knowing you had the chance to close it out.
You know, it's just a tremendous opportunity, and I think that's something that we have to say for the whole team. We went out there and we battled from the very beginning. They made my job a little bit easier when they put up runs, especially with the run that we had today. Anytime Jimmy goes out there and gets that big home run to lead it off, it definitely puts us all at ease, and we know we can concentrate and focus a little bit more. And that's what we were able to do. Being able to go out there and execute is the way you need to do to win. And we were able to do that, and we're able to enjoy this moment now.
All right, can you ask your manager to hold the National League trophy, because we have to make the Most Valuable Player Award presentation.
MVP. The best looking 24-year-old and the best pitcher I've ever seen.
Well, and a California guy, what do you say to all the frustrated Philadelphia sports fans that still want that title?
This is something that we've worked hard so long, and ever since February, when you're able to go out there, put this in perspective a little bit more when you go out there and win, and that's what we were able to do. To get an award like this is just something surreal. I think it takes a whole team to really get here, and I was able to go out there and play the way that I know I'm able to do, but it was because of my teammates. We had some big plays, and they were able to take care of what they know best, and we were able to bring home this win. So this definitely has to go to the whole team right here.
This is a great bunch of guys. We'll see you a week from tonight in the World Series. Congratulations again to you and the team. And we have too many trophies here, Charlie, but we won't complain about that. Congratulations to you. I know it's never easy being a manager in the big leagues, but you hung in there. You're a baseball lifer, right? The payoff's worth it.
Yeah, definitely worth it. Baseball has always been my life. And, before I get started, Dave Montgomery, I heard him, he congratulated everybody in our organization. I definitely don't want to miss anybody, but our front office, our player development, our scouts, our Major League Scouting department, everybody in our organization contributed to this, and it's all part of it. Most of all, I like to say, I always give the players credit. They're the one that do the plan. They're the one that make it possible. They're the one that executes. And when they celebrate, it's all for them. They're the ones that made it happen. And also, this is for the city of Philadelphia, and, we got one more step. This is a third step. We got one more big step, and then we're going to take a grand parade.
And when America tunes in for the World Series, Charlie, what should they know about this Philly team if they haven't been watching closely?
We're very resilient. We are a team. We stick together, and we play hard. We play 27 outs, and we always got a chance in the game.
Well, you're a pleasure to be around. I know in great happiness, the passing of your mom during this series. You're heading back on a plane to take care of the funeral. Our thoughts are with you and your family.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. I guarantee you my mom's watching right now.
All right, well, you got her on your side. Congratulations again. The celebration continues here. He's hanging on to this trophy. He's not letting it go. Let's go back up to Joe Buck.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would blame him for that. Born in West Virginia, grew up in Virginia. He heads back home tonight as the Phillies celebrate here in the Visitors Clubhouse in Los Angeles. Joe Torre with a wave of the cap to these fans. It has been a heck of a second half here with the Dodgers here in Los Angeles, and he's pointing to the fans. We will hear from Joe Torre when we come back. The celebration will continue from Los Angeles. Cole Hamels, look at that postseason. 3-0, 3 earned runs, 22 strikeouts, and the MVP of the National League Championship Series. The Chevy postgame show will continue after this.
What's really fun is to give people heartburn at night. They're all, I'm going to party. Surprise, sister. No, you're not.
Frequent heartburn used to ruin my evenings, so I tried Prilosec OTC. It works all day and all night, so now heartburn won't keep coming back. Prilosec OTC works to block heartburn before it begins for 24 hours with 1 pill a day. Try Prilosec OTC, the round-the-clock heartburn blocker.
It's game time. Skybox is right up here in section La-di-da. How's everybody doing? Can anybody tell me what inning we're in? All right, boys, we take it back to high life. See, the high life is about sitting in the sun and watching your favorite pitcher get lit up. Take him out. Man, they can't even hear me through this glass. Come on, boys. Need to smell me a hot dog or something. Just know I'm alive. Woo! Let me pass out some high life.
generation that swore it would never get old didn't. Welcome to the summer of life. And now there's an official hair treatment of the summer of your life. New Touch of Gray from Just for Men. Lets you keep a little gray. Works gradually. Just comb in, rinse.
Never trust anybody over 90.
Keep a little gray with New Touch of Gray.
We welcome you back to the Chevy postgame show on Fox. Chevy, an American revolution. Back down into the celebration we go. Here's Chris Myers.
Okay. All right, I'm with Shane Victorino. It's a little bit tough to hear in here. You're still smiling. You have throughout the series as your teammates celebrate. Wow, this just talk about going to the World Series.
It's great. You know, it's an opportunity that you dream of. You work all year long for, but you know, we still got one step to go. So we're happy to be here. We're happy to be the NL champs, and like I said, we still got one more step to go.
Well, it was an unusual series in that you came up with some big hits. We had 3 hits tonight from Ryan Howard. Certainly Cole Hamels was good. All right, there we go. There's one. I knew you were going to get it sooner or later. The fly at Hawaii. All right, just talk about how different guys contribute. No, I know a good dry cleaners in Philly. Sorry, there you go.
That's what it's about.
Good teammates.
It's about everybody stepping up. I think, you know, like I said, from the beginning of the year and all year long, that 25 guys, it takes 25 guys to win. You know, it's definitely big. And, you know, Jimmy leading off tonight again. He did the same thing in Milwaukee, a series that was, you know, a game that was crucial. And lead off with a home run and, you know, kind of swing momentum our way.
Now, I know you played the Red Sox during the year. I don't think you've seen the Marlins in a while. Do you care who you play?
I don't care. You know, it's just a matter of going out there and playing. It's going to be a good series on that end, and I hope it to be a fun World Series.
Did I say I meant the Rays? You know
Rays, yes, I know what you meant.
Okay, I think the champagne's getting to it. You enjoy yourself. All right, we'll see you a week
Thank you.
tonight.
All right, sounds good.
All right, everybody's got a script here. All right, the Philadelphia story, Joe, continues.
Oh. You know a good dry cleaner in Philadelphia. He's a beauty. And so is the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who in his first year got this Dodger club to the National League Championship Series. And he was nice enough to stop by and visit with our Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, you just addressed your team. What did you tell them?
Well, Ken, I just basically told them that I was proud to be their manager. You know, this was a, excuse me, an up and down year. I think they learned a lot. I think they learned to come together. Yeah, we made some additions, you know, Manny and Casey Blake and Greg Maddux. But these kids didn't know what inning it was. They didn't know what the score was. They just kept fighting until somebody told them it was over. And even this game tonight, it got a little ugly in the middle with the defense, but they never stopped plugging away. And, you know, that's John Wooden taught me a long time ago that, you know, it's not always the club that wins that you're proudest of. And I was, I mean, I certainly was satisfied with what I saw here.
You guys looked so good sweeping the Cubs. What happened in this series?
Well, you know, they live by the homer, they die by the homer, and they got us this time. That was huge. The other night, opening day, for the first game, I mean, when, you know, it just looked like Derek Lowe was just, you know, having no problem at all. All of a sudden, a 2-run homer and another home run in a matter of 10 minutes, and they're ahead 3-2, and that was the final score. They pitched real well out of the bullpen. You know, we kept coming out. We always sort of kept skidding, though. We kept spinning our wheels. We couldn't get to where we needed to go.
You had a young pitcher, starting pitcher, struggle for the second time tonight in this series. You had young hitters struggle throughout. How much will they gain from this experience?
Well, I think that's immeasurable. I mean, to me, the experience now, it feels right now like it's the worst day of their lives. But I guarantee you, when they get to face this situation again, they're going to, you know, call upon what they did here and what they learned from it, and they'll move on. They've got some talent, these kids, and you know, I think they did a lot of learning this year.
Joe, thanks very much.
Thank you.
To you.
All right, Kenny, thank you. Well, Frank McCourt has been in charge here with the Dodgers since 2004. Hired a Hall of Fame manager, and he got a Hall of Fame job out of Joe Torre. But tonight, it's the Phillies who celebrate. On to the World Series they go. On to the Fox Network Center we go. Here's Jeannie Zelasco.
Joe Buck, thank you very much. Get ready, Philadelphia. The World Series is coming. Brad Lidge on the mound. Why not? He closed out all of the Phillies' wins this postseason, finishing off Nomar Garciaparra and the Dodgers in this NLCS. And that journey is going to continue for the Phillies next Wednesday, Game 1 of the World Series. How does that sound? The Philadelphia Phillies making their first appearance since 1993. They will face either the defending champion Boston Red Sox, or how about the story of baseball this season, the Cinderella Tampa Bay Rays, next Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, in high definition, only on Fox. And we are going to be there as well. Jeannie Zelasco, along with Kevin Kennedy, Eric Karros here in studio. Mark Grace will be joining us as well on the road. You will be with us in the National League cities. And the Phillies really in complete control tonight because of the man on the mound.
Well, Cole Hamels has been absolutely dominant the entire postseason, and that's something that a World Series winner usually rides the coattails of a dominant pitcher. Cole Hamels, 3-0 with a 1.23 ERA this postseason. I mean, the guy has been unhittable. 7 innings tonight, Dodgers couldn't touch him.
I think Cole Hamels has been the best pitcher in the whole postseason from what I've seen. I mean, on both leagues. I mean, so consistent. And we knew going in, this changeup of his, along with that 92 fastball and good control,